everybody. Welcome to the Toronto Build Station. I'm Simon. I hope you can hear me okay. Also, the chat's a little far away, so definitely communicate to me in GIFs. I can see the images a lot better. My name's Simon. I run Super Team Canada here in Canada and Toronto specifically today. For people that don't know, Super Team is working to build out the Solana ecosystem around the world. And there's 16 super teams, country-based, and we are running Super Team Canada specifically. So if you're interested in working in Web3 or building products or services in Web3, especially within Solana, definitely reach out to us. We have a lot of IRL events, online events, educational platforms, resources available, connections to mentors, bounty systems, a whole slew of information. You can follow us all on Twitter, get a lot of information there, as well as join the Super Team or Solana Canada Telegram group as the best way to have communications with us. And I'd like to introduce my first officer, Fib, right here. Go ahead.
I'm Fibonacci. I helped Simon to launch Super Team Canada, and I've been helping out the teams with some workshops, and I'm really excited to be here.
Cool. If you'd like to introduce our judges for today, is that next on the agenda?
It sure is.
Nice.
Thanks, Simon. So thank you so much to our judges and to everyone who supported the build station that we have had here in Toronto. Where did it go? Well, these are our judges. First, we have Vashi, who's the founder of Blast Control, and he's also working on the Greed Academy through the Greed Experiment. And JP Bedoya, who's the Chief Product Officer at Civic. And we are so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for being a part of the pitches, for giving feedback. I know for Vashi, the time zone is not particularly convenient right now, so I very much appreciate your willingness to be here. Please keep in mind that the teams had a month to throw together their product as well as a business plan and demo. So there will be only 3 minutes per team to give you their pitch and their demo. We will be timing very carefully, and then 2 minutes per judge for questions or feedback. Teams, keep your answers, if there are questions, keep your answers as short and concise as possible because it will cut into your feedback time. And we will cut you off if we have to. I also want to give a quick thank you to our incredible mentors, which you can see on my screen. We had a ton of mentors, most of whom are Super Team Canada members, and have been actively engaged with the teams, meeting them, giving them feedback throughout the process. Thank you. And of course, to all of our incredible workshop organizers, we had Texture, Igor from Texture, Aiden from BuddyLink, as well as the multi-chain advisors, Honeycomb Protocol, and more. So thank you to all of the individuals who helped us out with those workshops. You can find the recordings on the Super Team Canada YouTube.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Let's just dive right in. We got a lot to get through. We'll be timing, and appreciate everyone for showing up. Let's dive in. I believe the first one up, I'll turn off my camera here so you don't get too close to me. The first one up is Dirt with Insights by Future. Go ahead there, Dirt.
Nice. You guys hear me okay?
All good.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to share a screen. I'm just going to check one more time to make sure it's actually working. Entire screen, go live. Screen inception. Okay, can you see Insights by Future? Yes?
Sorry, it was muted. You certainly can. Thumbs up.
Okay. Starting the timer now. All right, guys, Insights by Future. Because life's too short for bad decisions. So how we're going to provide value? We believe freeing teams time and providing rich data allows them to make better, smarter business decisions. What we make. Our tools unlock real-time data with true composability and blockchain native tech. So the problem is that governance is a vicious circle. Teams cannot be present at all times to be there. And people, when they are there, feel like they're not being seen. And this goes on and on. So we are going to break that circle. How we're going to do it. So for the first time ever, you're going to have the power to know what your entire community is thinking in the blink of an eye across multiple platforms in a single place. So introducing Insights. This is a survey type tool that works in real time to free you to make better governance decisions. There are four main components. There is the app, there is the decision-making engine, there's the blockchain, and there's the AI. The app is what collects it all together. And this is the native UX, the widgets within Discord and the bots and whatever else we can build for you guys to bring these pieces together. There's the decision-making engine, which comes from my co-founder, MetaMatt's company, which is a world-class real-time deep data engine. And it's been used across Canada and municipalities, making billions of dollars worth of decisions. There's the blockchain inherentness, which is demographics, incentivization, because everybody knows you need a little bit of sparkle. And being able to pay for rich data is something we want to give people. There's also token gateable, so that you have communities, you can allow them to decide when and when not you want feedback to be public. AI makes a lot of sense here because it allows you to summarize a very large amount of information into what's most important. Better decisions, stronger communities. So this is the Insights page you're able to get live, and I'm just going to whip through it. So as you can see here, all the projects up here, you can connect your wallet, you go to the Insight, watch this, evaluate Futures Hackathon submission, participate. And we built this so that judges could actually decide how we were in and against the other people who participated in our track. Boom, next. I'm not going to waste time, we're already 2 minutes into this. So the magic really happens. So Pulse is something that we're building on top of these Insights. And this is sort of the first time that you're going to be able to have a live community sentiment dashboard. And this is interesting because we're going to be able to give communities the ability to monetize data for the first time only on Solana. Now, I'm saying a lot here, and there's a lot that is to cover, but it's essentially we could see us working with places like AlphaVibe to be able to give them tangible information about communities. Think of it as like an actual data set of sentiment from what is your feedback within the community? How's the community spending the treasury? What do you think of the teams? And being able to standardize that across the ecosystem, wow, 3 minutes rips through. Anyways, team's badass, product is sick, we got it live, roadmap's big. Yeah, and then revenue model. Wow, that's 3 minutes. Yeah, I cut myself off.
Thank you. There's lots of clapping here. Okay. I believe we have some scheduled time for the judges to give feedback.
You want to go first, JP?
Yeah. Wait, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. I wanted to understand the revenue part of it a little bit more. And then the blockchain component, why do you need a blockchain to do this? I saw you had incentive, demographics, and token gating. Those were two of my questions.
So revenue model for us, I didn't get to, it's going to be free to launch because a lot of this comes down to product market fit. And we need to decide how people can use this the best. And so we're in conversations with guys like Radiance DAO, with their Align product, even Monkey DAO. And the revenue model for us is going to be some sort of a SaaS agreement, whether it's, paying to use widgets and bots where your communities are. And I can show that screen really quickly. So subscription fees, utility fees for the actual engine API that we have, licensing, which would be like Discord bots, Telegram and such. And then professional fees, because we see a large room for consulting here because this decision-making engine can be really complex and can do a lot more than just surveys. And so that's, a basis for that answer. And then as far as blockchain integration, go ahead.
Yeah. So quick question. So the target is Web3 communities. Is that your target market?
Target market for testing the product is Web3 communities. And then we've already been working on long-term is literally on onboarding entities within the Web2 space onto Solana in a frictionless way, which is a journey that this team's already begun.
Okay.
And then the blockchain component is because when you connect to it, we can see whether you're a token holder or an NFT holder. So it's important to be able to determine what kind of user is actually responding. And then also doing things like a soft KYC, like have they held this token for X amount of time, therefore they're a valuable person and not a bot.
Got it. You had also demographics then there.
Yeah,
Just make sure you're not
yeah.
storing any kind of demographics data on chain. That would be my feedback on that.
I guess like demographics maybe is the wrong word, and that's good critique. Demographics in terms of are they a token holder or not a token holder, or NFT
Okay.
holder or not.
Okay. Gotcha.
You done, JP?
Yeah, yeah. I want to take over. Go ahead, Poshi.
Can I, if I have a community, can I be earning from selling the data or offering my community to be uh, giving the feedback or answering questions that somebody else is asking? Is this a viable earning model for a big community? Let's say, for example, like MonkeyDAO.
That is exactly the route that I want to go. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of communities that are, say, new or projects are new that don't have a lot of people to talk to. And if you have a trusted entity like Monkey DAO where you have verified holders, being able to have them targeted or incentivized for being the ones to provide feedback is definitely a realm we want to be in. And then the converse is true that there's a lot of projects that would love to sell products to Monkey DAO. And so if you guys can be part of the communities that are answering these kind of standardized insights that help build this like community profile, and it's up to you guys to decide if that's private information you use to steer the ship or it's public information. Our goal is to be able to help you sell that data to places like Alpha Vibe, Artemis, and kind of create this like first ever, community sentiment with actual tangible results, not just is the Discord active.
Okay, that makes sense. I think, I mean, this one is a weird one for me because it's the only thing that I heard about before this demo day, right? Like I spoke to you guys, so I gave a lot of feedback already. So I'm trying to kind of pretend what I would say if I heard it the first time. But yeah, I think that part is going to be very interesting, and I think it's going to get you a lot of adopters if that's how you present it. The rest you already know, and I think my time is already up. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Super Team Canada. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dirt, and thanks, Insights by Future.
Thank you, guys. So let's me to present at the moment. So yes, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Solomon Fan, and I'm the CEO of Millennium. And I am excited to introduce our project that's set to redefine DeFi trading on Solana and beyond. So first of all, Millennium addresses a critical gap in decentralized finance, mutual trading inefficiencies that lead to inconsistent performance. Our AI trading driven trading tools are reshaping the landscape by offering a solution that significantly reduces risk, provides predictive accuracy of 75% to 80% during volatile market conditions, and deliver 24/7 trading without human bias. Our proprietary AI models trained on over 10 years of market data and utilizing 50 plus indicators are integrated into the high-speed trading environment on Solana, executing transactions within 400 minutes. Our proprietary AI models trained on over 10 years of market data and utilizing 50 plus indicators are integrating into a high-speed trading environment on Solana, executing transactions within 400 minutes, and with ultra-low fees. We are building a multi-chain DEX using Hemi.xyz, so Hemi protocol, expanding beyond Solana on Bitcoin Layer 2 and Ethereum. And plus, we already signed an official contract, an NDA with Hemi.xyz. It's an American-based Bitcoin Layer 2 protocol. And then we want to, it will enhance cross-chain adoption and boost ecosystem growth of Solana. The DeFi market is expected to grow exponentially, and with our competitive advantage, AI enhanced predictive trading, community-driven improvements, and robust compliance features, we are positioned to be a leader in this evolving space. Our AI traders have already shown a 50% performance improvement over mutual trading in the year, and our revenue model is built around subscription fees and transaction commissions, and with, of course, DeFi protocols as usual, and also the DEX and in the future. Join us in shaping the future of DeFi with Core Millennium, where AI meets decentralized finance for everyone. Thank you, guys.
You got about 10 seconds left to finish off.
It's cool. So Isaac, yeah, and if Isaac, can you share like we can do the demo to you guys later for our slide, our tech, but I can share my screen for the Isaac. Can you share your screen right now so I can share my screen? So about the page, yeah, cool. Let me share my screen about the a little bit of the design of the our UI UX. So this is the UI UX. And this is called Millennium, AI-driven crypto trading simplified. So it's the UI look like. So we have kind of wallets, everything. Get started, learn more. It's based on Solana. DeFi project, something like that. So it will look like exactly like that. Maybe some are there with integration with DEX on with Hey.xyz. And then
Can
with
you
the community
unshare and
tab,
share again?
something like that.
Saba? Can you unshare and share again? They can't see the Figma file.
Oh yeah, here you go. Can you see? Can you see?
No, well, I can't.
This might be Discord hating us here, but I think most of us have infinite loading. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me share to you the link to the chat. So yeah, so
Okay, I think we're pretty far over time. If you can quickly give your feedback there, judges, apologies for the technical issues on this one.
Yeah, so
Okay,
quick question
go.
on the go-to-market. You say you're gonna target institutional investors. How would you get an institutional investor to choose you over going with existing options out there?
yes. So we have a really great idea. So basically, first of all, we are not really we focus on both retail and institutional, and then we are community driven. So basically, it's more like we provide educations to those educations and also the like a close community on Discord and on other communities, and then we help them to give them information about the how to trade on our DeFi protocol, and then how to, if they have opportunity of like arbitrage or something like that, and then we can help them to get in, and it's more like community driven, like a project DeFi protocol. And for you say institutional like a trading, like a customers or clients, we already partnership with. We're going to sign a contract with Glassnodes. They provide institutional data to us, and also we're going to basically we're going to also have another partner. It's called the Tide. They provide the sentiment data to us. So and for the go-to-market parts, I think we're gonna do a lot. We're gonna do a lot of. We're gonna provide the best ever DeFi protocol there, and with with the in-depth community, and another thing is basically we're using the layer Bitcoin layer 2 to get make ourselves a little bit unique, maybe a lot unique. So basically people can have a recognize that we can using the Bitcoin layer 2 to expand eventually to not to expand. So based on Solana, basically, eventually we're using the Bitcoin layer 2 as a protocol, and then eventually to boost out the Solana ecosystem. So that's, I think this is our sell point. And then
And if
also
I can
for
comment,
go ahead.
I can comment there a little bit. We intend to be giving, superior AI powered algorithms. We've been working really hard on the algorithms, doing a lot of
Okay, that's
research.
2 minutes on JP there. We got 2 minutes for Vashi, and then we got to move on.
Okay.
You guys have too much going on. I know that 3 minutes is too short of a time to present everything, and we are very restricted. But I don't think I could give you 2 hours to make me believe that so much things that you said in this should fit in a project that's presenting on a hackathon. You're solving 17 problems that are unrelated. I don't care if you're trading on Bitcoin layer 2 that nobody cares about, if you're giving me 70-80% accuracy with an AM model. That's enough. That's selling point. If you can prove you have that, nobody will ask you what chain it's trading on. Everybody's going to be paying for that. On the other hand, saying that you think your uniqueness, and you repeated this Bitcoin layer 2 several times in your presentation, Bitcoin layers 2 are like not doing great. We have 20,000 of them so far, and nobody cares because people who care about Bitcoin and doing things on Bitcoin are never going to move to layer 2 of Bitcoin and assume trust assumptions that are then lower than other chains. And the people who don't care so much about being hardcore on Bitcoin are going to move to other chains. If Bitcoin layers 2 ever do well other than 3 months of somebody doing some stupid NFT standard and everybody jumping on it, I'm ready to die. It won't. That's not your selling point. Focus. If you have an AI model that's so great, focus
We
on
have
that.
AI model right now. We have AI model already. Yes.
Show in that 3 minutes, show me why everybody's going to be throwing money at you for doing that. Don't get lost in other things that nobody will care about. That's my feeling.
So, yeah, can we do a little demo right now? I think we have already had the model right away. So can Edu, can you share the screen?
I don't think that's on me. I think I don't think we have time, but yeah.
I think we have. Okay.
In that case, if you can do it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, we can share to you. So, Edu, can you share that?
I don't think we'll have time for another demo here, guys. Apologies, but I think we got to move on. So thank you for presenting.
Thank you so much, guys. I think it's okay, but I think this is a technical issue. But we already have everything. If that is okay, we can have another meeting later on, and we can talk about things because we actually have the whole model ready, and it's like we are ready there. And then, but I really wish you guys can give me a chance because he don't understand how to do that. Discord, I try helping him. And then if you can give me a chance to present, that'll be great. But if you don't, then we're still gonna move on the project. So it's okay. But
yeah, if you do submit your stuff to Super Team Earn, we can go through your project at a later time. But thank you. We're going to move on to the next project. Saman, I believe you are next with Crypto.fun.
I'll be presenting Crypto, which is a pioneering digital creativity and storytelling platform on Solana. My name is Sam, and I'll walk you through what I believe will be a huge thing in the coming months to come, because this kind of thing is inevitable. So the gaps that I see currently on the blockchain, especially with the convergence of AI and all these generative AI tools and so on, is that NFTs are still these disconnected assets. They have no connection with each other whatsoever. You can just mint them and get a cool profile picture out of it, but that's pretty much where it ends. AI artists are basically, we know that the future of artistic expression is through AI tools, but AI artists at the moment don't really make any money from their creations. I mean, maybe less than 0.1% of them. We have basically the writers that are pretty much non-existent in the blockchain. They're not represented in the artistic communities that can be properly monetized on the blockchain and provide them with a high-end, high-tech platform to show their art. And meme communities, they're unincentivized and scattered. They're basically all over the place. Meme coins pop up every day in the hundreds. And, they create, the community makes memes and graphics and so on, but it's kind of lost on the internet. There's no central hub for any meme coin that, can have on-chain proof of the digital content to back their meme coin. And also that meme coins lack tangible backing. Like how Bitcoin, for instance, is backed by energy input, dollar is supposedly backed by gold and so on, or oil. Meme coins should logically be backed by tangible assets, which are memes and graphics that can kind of back your idea. So what we're doing here is we're bringing we're unifying all of these into one platform called Crypto.fun.
One of the coolest things about this is this thing called prompt chains, where you can basically create AI-powered, AI-generated collaborative storytelling narratives through interconnected NFTs. And I'll
Just let you know your time's up. You can keep going, but you'll be cutting into your judges time there.
Okay, sweet. So I'll just skim through these and show you what these prompt chains actually look like. So you can just create one. The first one in the chain will be essentially the book cover, right? So you can see this one I made for fun. It's called Pepe on Solana. And then I can keep adding notes to it. I can branch off essentially. If I don't like a certain narrative, I can branch off from any node in the chain and create my own kind of branch in the tree. And eventually you're going to end up with this huge tree that has one beginning but many endings. And the longest path will essentially be the coolest story out there because, sort of like how evolution by natural selection works. And then I can just add to it. Anybody can come and add to it. It's collaborative and decentralized storytelling. So, I mean, it will give you a story recap up here, and you can click the wand to let the AI create the next part of the story for you based on the context and the character descriptions that are extracted from the previous notes. Another thing is this artistic QR codes that you can create for any token that you can point and scan and trade. It will give you access to all the links for that token, as well as provide a very quick way to trade it and so on with just your phone. There are many other things that I would love to go into, but because of lack of time, I won't. Um, Here are some statistics. For instance, the subreddit writing prompts, which is a storytelling community, has over 19 million subscribers there. And they're pretty much doing the same thing, but in a not visual and very Stone Age way. And they will love this platform and they can benefit from this immensely.
Okay, that's 2 extra minutes, so you got 1 minute per judge. Are you ready to finish off?
Okay. Yeah, I can just. I guess I'll show you a quick demo of the.
I'm not sure we have quite time for the demo. It's time for some judge feedback session. Vashi's been posting a couple questions in the chat. Vashi, if you want to do that, or JP, if you want to go first.
No, go ahead, Voshi.
Okay, then. I don't feel like your solution solved any of the problems you were presenting for 2 minutes, 45 seconds out of your 3 minutes. I really do think if you know the rules of this thing and you have 3 minutes to make the best impression, you should be prepared way, way, way better than you were. And I just need one answer from you. Why does this belong in a blockchain? And you will need to answer it in one sentence.
Yes. So I've spoken to a couple of writers who are eager to get into the blockchain, and eliminates the need for publishers. And 70% of the revenue usually goes to publishing and fees and so on and so forth. Well, they can just come to the blockchain and
That's more than one
mint
sentence.
the entire book. All right.
And JP, do you have any feedback?
Yeah, I think I agree with Voshi. It would have been good to not spend so much time on like that first slide and really focus on what the product is. I'm really not clear what you offer um, from your presentation, and if it's AI driven, why would writers actually come and use it? Right? It just doesn't.
Can I answer these questions or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, writers can use it for the actual prompt generation. You can write your own content, and the AI will, based on your narrative or based on the story, create a prompt that will create that scene for you. And then on the next scenes and so on, the characters will be remembered. So you don't need to describe the same character in every scene in your story. That will be taken care of in the back end. All you do is continue the story, and you will see a storybook pop up at the other side. Sort of like a picture book creator, but on the blockchain. And you can monetize every page of your book, and you can write a book with many writers in a collaborative way. And yeah.
Great, thank you. That's the end of the time for this pitch. Thank you to Sam and JP and Vashi for the feedback. You can definitely follow up with this project on the superteam.earn website if you'd like to learn more.
All right, my name is Galen. I'm the CPO here at Helios. Helios is a new social music streaming experience with a mission to get a billion creators paid. Meet our founder, Ryder Havdale. Ryder started his first record label in 2004 and currently tours with a band called Broken Social Scene. When Ryder got his first million streams on Spotify, he was blown away, having to ask, "Did we get paid? There's no transparency on Spotify, and fans don't know who you are." This sparked Helios. Helios is a hybrid of full music catalog platform and user generated content, meaning we'll have the 100 million plus songs that Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer have, but independent creators will be able to freely upload their own music like they can on SoundCloud or YouTube. They can also sell their music and merch like they can on Bandcamp. Meet Willow. She loves listening to and creating music. On Helios, she can listen to her favorite artist, Rihanna. She can also upload and sell her tracks directly from her phone. 100% of Willow's subscription goes to the rights owners that she listens to, meaning if she only listens to one song of mine, for instance, for the entire month, I'll receive 100% of her $10 subscription. So, how do we profit without taking a cut from creators? Our revenue streams, ads, and asset sales offer a much larger market potential than traditional subscription model. And if you don't think digital asset sales are going to rebound this cycle, you're probably one of those who sold your soul at $10. How'd that work out for you? Now, as Willow uploads her new song here to the right, lists it for sale, let's review our roadmap successes. From being one of the first apps on the Solana Saga phone to launching on Google Play and Apple App Stores, and our upcoming HEO token launch, we've been on an absolute tear to get creators paid. Speaking of the Saga phone, Stephen Lucier, who's in the audience, is one of our investors, the lead developer at Solana Labs. We also have Dick Huey from Spotify, Arthur Falls from Definity and Consensus, and Arabian Prince from the world's most dangerous group, NWA. For the launch of our rewards token, HEO, we're partnering with leading launchpads and Solana communities like Monkey DAO, Mad Lads, Solana Sensei, and Asset Dash, to name a few. Okay, while we were chatting, Willow uploaded a song, album art, and worked out the revenue splits between her and her producer and listed an NFT for sale on Solana, all in under 60 seconds and without connecting a wallet or paying gas fees. This is what we call a seamless on-chain user experience, actually. So we're looking for $10 million on a $40 million post-money valuation for 24 months as financing to reach our first 512,000 paid subscribers. Please join us in building the future of music streaming on Solana. And thanks.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We'll start with Vashi.
Okay, didn't know you guys are going to be presenting here. This is another product that I've seen and heard before. I gave a lot of feedback. Most of it was not really accepted. So I'm just going to go to the most obvious one. Please change your name yesterday. We don't need.
I think I lost Vashi. JP, can you hear him?
No, I think he dropped too. I don't.
Okay, maybe JP, go ahead.
Yeah, so I love the concept. I think music is super difficult though. So the one thing I'm not really sure, this is like a hackathon project. It's not. This has been being worked on for a little while, right? It seemed more like a VC pitch deck, Rusty. I know Ryder. I think you guys are doing something really cool. Don't get me wrong. But like for a hackathon, I don't know. I was just expecting something smaller. This is a massive, massive project.
It is, but the Web3 aspects that you are seeing in the on the side panel have all been built in the last couple weeks.
I see.
When I joined Helios about 6 months ago, we actually scrapped the entire back end, front end UI, and redid everything. So as far as code goes, this is a brand new baby. And if you do go on the Apple App Store and or the Solana Saga and look at it, you'll see it is very much so like an MVP. And we're adding new features every couple weeks. So thought it was appropriate since we were building the code live. I was actually building the code, or my CTO and I were building the code live in the workstation at the Super Team Toronto spot this week. So
Okay, amazing then. Then I think I really love this. I think this is I told this writer before. I love the concept. I'm me being a musician in the past. I think this is definitely needed. I do think that competing with record labels and distribution is going to be really, really hard. So that to me is the main hurdle for you guys.
so we're not actually competing with record labels and distribution. We've actually got Dick Huey working out the contracts with all the majors right now. Um, the whole concept is they are the right holders of the music that you listen to when you listen to Spotify. So if you're making more money on Helios, the record labels and distributors are actually making more money on Helios as well, just like the independent.
Thanks, JP. We'll just give 1 minute back to Vashi because I know he had some technical issues.
Sorry.
Any other
Yeah.
feedback? Go ahead.
Yeah, please change the name. Only 3 Spider-Mans can fit on a T-shirt. I really think you don't want to be on Solana with that name. Other than that, I would focus way more on solving some of the actual issues that incentivization of decentralized user agents or listeners on blockchain could really solve, which is discovery algorithms and other similar things that you can actually make users in the music industry, in the streaming industry care about. This is so far focusing more on solving the issues of artists, and that's never gonna be the way to do it until you actually change the main things that the listeners care about. Listeners will be telling you always that they care about artists getting more money, but they really don't. They want to use the kind of streaming platform that's going to give them the music that they want to listen to in the easiest way, all the artists that they want. So focus on using blockchain technology to solving the issues that they have, and there are a few ways how you can do this with the music in the music industry actually with blockchain, but nobody seems to have chosen that path yet. That's it.
Cool. Thanks, Vashi and Rusty. We'll wrap it up there. Thanks for coming into the Toronto Build Station as well. Hopefully see you later. I posted the Canada Demo Day schedule in the chat there. We have April Token up next.
Hi, I'm Lando, and I'm with April Token, and we are building Reap, an AI-driven deals, personalized deals platform built on blockchain. We have been building in crypto for more than 10 years, and with this deep expertise, we're able to abstract away a lot of the complexities and build applications that consumers love. The problem we're solving for is users with idle time seeking to monetize it, but lack deal discovery. The solution that we built is Reap, which connects users with hyper-personalized, high-value deals. It works with AI-driven personalization. So users interact with various micro actions, such as our tap to earn, and during the tapping, users receive survey questions that they answer, and then we build out a user profile that allows the AI to generate the personalized deals for each user. We incentivize users to share that personalized information using blockchain rewards. So for the tapping, they receive on-chain rewards. For providing the private information, they receive rewards on chain. Um, Everything is done locally on the device. No information is shared off the device, and that way we protect users' privacy. With the multifaceted engagement options tied to blockchain, getting the rewards, the AI then is able to generate the personalized deals that match each specific user on their device itself. The TAM of the market is about 65 to 130 billion, and that's made into like 3 subsegments: loyalty and rewards, e-commerce and personalized deals, and AI-driven personalization. We have recently launched our Telegram mini app with the AI built in, local neural network, storing locally on the device, and blockchain rewards integrated. We've gained about 13K monthly users from across 100 countries and emerging markets. I'm going to show you a quick demo here. So here we are, and this is our Telegram mini app. So this is the tap stream. Users tap, and then they can tap. They're tapping, they're earning, and as they're tapping, they're getting rewards. And in the tap stream, there's the questions that come up here. So we can answer here, social media, and then as the AI collects these questions and collects the user profile, the deals are generally generated. So here we have personalized deals here that are recommended by the neural network for each user. So now that we have a general profile, we also want to make sure that details are as per the user and it's not fake. And so it's not game, it's not botted, and we don't want to put the private user information on a server or on the device. So that's where we use like ZK technology. And here
We have about
we
10 seconds left, and then we'll pass off
yeah.
to the
So
judges.
okay, so here we are. So we're judging the users. We're making sure the users on Facebook, and here's the system here, and this is being done on Solana itself. So it's generating a proof on Solana through the user saying he's on Facebook. So the user says he's on Facebook, and now we're verifying that the user actually has a Facebook account and is a real user before we start integrating his data and providing him rewards. So ZK proof is generated, and here it is. It's about 10 seconds, and it's almost done. And there we are. There's the proof on Solana. There's my address, recipient address, and there's the details to prove that this user actually does have a profile and it is a user, and we're using a Solana proof to generate that.
Thank you, newbie. JP, I know you were able to view the screen. Can you give your feedback first?
So why do we need this now? It's just not clear to me. There's an actual need in the market for something like this.
Well, it's not for it's targeted to users that are looking to earn. So it's not like users in North America. It's more for users in emerging markets, in Africa, in Asia that want to earn during their free time. That's our target demographic.
Right, but they're going to earn from US-based companies because those are the ones that actually provide any meaningful rewards. And ultimately, they don't want those users.
We are the personalized deals are coming from vendors globally. So each user, you're just seeing these vendors because I'm in Canada, so it's generating my device. But a user in say Singapore or Malaysia or Uzbekistan or Hong Kong or Nigeria, they will see deals from vendors specific to that local market and are willing to give rewards to those users because that's their target demographic.
Okay, and then you have access to local rewards in those markets that are going to be meaningful?
Yes, based on the... I'm sorry?
How are you sourcing then those rewards in those local markets?
We have vendor tie-in. We have deals from over 100K vendors. So each country, we have a subset of deals that accord to each particular local market. We are a global platform.
So you are sourcing the deals yourself from those 100,000 vendors, or you're using some aggregate?
No, we tie into mediation services that do the actual aggregation, and we plug into the mediation services, which makes it a lot easier for us and for the mediation service.
Okay.
That's 2 minutes. Vashi, if you want to give your feedback, and then JP, maybe you can round it out. We'll move on. And then just a small announcement. We will be transitioning to Zoom after this presentation. There's a scheduled 5-minute break anyway, so we'll spam the link in the chat after this and we'll all move over. Go ahead there, Vashi.
Yeah, so I quite like this idea. The only thing about the pitch that I'll say is that you should probably have an early slide. I didn't see the Telegram app at the end, right? But just looking at the pitch deck, I would like to see like a slide there showing me one kind of the deal, because just listening to you before I open the thing, I'm keep thinking you're talking about like investment deals or something like that, right? So needed a few minutes to there to catch up, and then I share the same worries as JP, which is I think there's a big disconnect between the people who vendors want to target and the people that you're talking about who want to earn more money. Though, like there's one target audience that you want to sell shit to, and another that you want to be, like that's going to be interested in scrolling through that to earn. And I do think having some experience in advertisement, and probably you are aware of how different the cost per showing the same ads to an American customer or some other Western country customer is compared to others. And there's a reason for that. So I think like the economy here might have a bit of a problem and share the same worries JP had.
Well, that's why it's personalized to each particular user, right? So a user in the US, he will see deals from US vendors and like brands that he recognizes, and he can get a discount, get a deal, take advantage like everyone else. And while he's doing that, he gets some extra reward. He's not, because he's a US person, he's not so much caring about the actual reward. He's more about the deals. Versus someone who is in, let's say, Nigeria, who is targeted by Jumia, which is a major merchant there. He's probably would like the deals, but he's also more, for him, it's more the rewards as well.
Yeah, that part
So
is
it
clear.
depends
My
on
comment was just
each
about you
market.
saying who you're targeting with this. Just one more short question, if you can answer, is for a vendor, why would they pick doing this to you than doing this basically through like the network of, let's say, Google Ads? Because they're getting the same thing and they have way more data than you do, and it's also in very big majority of the cases personalized and cheaper for them.
Google is phasing out the third-party cookie, so it will become much harder to target users, and they'll be, this way that we're going is basically where everyone is going, and Google itself is going. It's personalized, local, from the local device, local data, and it's much more, and it's learning. I didn't mention that our network connects up all our bots together, and so it becomes like a mesh learning, aggregated learning. So our network becomes smarter as time goes by from each individual learning, and the data is not shared across devices, so we fit within the GDPR and all those other privacy concerns that are coming up as we speak.
Okay, but yeah, okay, I get that part. But even if you're working with this completely same data set as Google, they're showing those ads everywhere that people usually go, and people need to choose to be looking at you. So like that's going to be hard, right?
We are not so much focused on the ads, right? We are personalizing the deals per each user, and as they fit the user will more convert to that vendor based on the match, right? It's more of the match and the AI-driven personalization. That's the power.
That's it's pretty much time. Thank you for showing your project there, newbie. We are experiencing some technical difficulties with Discord, so we will be moving to Zoom. Fibonacci has posted the Zoom link in the chat.
We built in the last 5 days Holistic ID, which is basically a module that's part of a bigger vision for the team that I'm with. So the boundaries that we're going after are DAOs and governance and consumer. So the module that we built is essentially a very easy to use module where you can pair your Twitter and your Solana wallets to a user dashboard, which basically manages the whole ID. And the dashboard can have private data exposed so that admins can see it. So it is good for use cases like hiring, and then there's public use cases as well where you could obfuscate some data. So let me demo this very quickly for you. I'm just going to get the signs out of the way. Here we go. So I'm going to log out and show you what it looks like. So here I'm connecting on Twitter. I pre-built this in like earlier. I'm going to add speaker Lisan as the pseudonym and set it up. And there you go. All right. So here's my user dashboard. You can see that I have one Solana address. my email attached and my Twitter. I could also go in and attach my Solana address, and I'm going to select the wallet. Okay, which is already like in, and then hopefully, if I go back, it should. Oh shit! I missed the add permanent step. Oh yeah, there you go. There it is. So the whole idea is that this decentralized ID can be able to unify communities living on different platforms. So the whole idea is that it's meant to create more alignment between team members and meant to like allow team members and the community to reward and engage with each other no matter what platform you are in. So it really fights um, fragmentation. So one of the key things, just to talk about use cases that you can do, is cross-platform missions. A community leader can issue a mission, like promote a proposal. Different people can do different activities on different platforms, and the protocol just rewards the different users on different platforms, and it's using the same on-chain tipping asset to reward them. And these tips can be then converted to anything that the brand wants to reward community members with. And another thing that is unlocked now that we have unified IDs is the ability for users in different platforms to tip themselves. So
about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I want to be clear that this is different from tipping. Sorry, this is different from sending wallet to wallet transactions. It's actually tipping to reward people for actions on social media sites. For example, this I'm tipping not the person, I'm tipping the content. So this is what's happening in this diagram over here. You're really rewarding community members and each other to do the right thing for the community. And yeah, so that's this mechanism. We have Toronto DAO and Greenpill interested in this mechanism, and we're working with them to like really unify their communities and get them all aligned. And yeah, ready for questions.
Thank you. Do you want to go first there, JP? Give your feedback for 2 minutes.
Yeah. So what is the incentive mechanism for platforms to adopt this, right? Identity, I've worked on that problem for a little while. It's not something that consumers really care about in a way, unless they have to, right? It's kind of like one of the most difficult problems to solve.
So the incentive for the incentive lies, well, it gets the thing that kickstarts everything is the community leaders that want to align everybody, right? The whole idea is that there's some activities that need to be done to like grow community, like let's say set up a node, make a proposal, set up a community, but they all live in different platforms, and it's really hard to engage and reward them across these different platforms. So the tipping mechanism is one way for the community leader to tell his community, hey, do this thing, and this community will reward you and for your engagement in a very unified way. And the nice thing that we're doing as well is it's not just the moderator and the community leader that does the tipping. It's also the community members that can do it amongst themselves as well. So we're trying to make the system itself is a very social from the ground up. I hope that answers the question.
Yep. And then I think my follow-up question is, how are you preserving privacy?
So the idea with privacy is that the whole it basically we're using a variation of Passport that's developed by Gitcoin, and the whole idea is that the data is private by default, and depending on the community that's being built, you have to choose to showcase some user data to your admins or your other fellow community members. Another way to think about this is each of these pseudonyms, right, or these IDs are based on a pseudonym. So I can make one pseudonym group with one grouping of logins, and another pseudonym group for another group of logins to preserve privacy. And yeah, that's how a user can take care of things.
Thank you, JP. You're up there next, Frosty, for 2 minutes.
I have a feeling that this is just a different way of presenting the platforms that already exist and is mostly going to be used in the same way, right? The whole point is give me some more of your data and I'm going to reward you, and then perform some actions, I'm going to reward you. Like Zili, Gleam, like everybody doing it something differently, but I think that's the end idea here, right? For a user, I don't think he's getting any benefits here. The only reason for a user to participate in any way, if that's the requirement for him to hopefully get some speculative asset dropped to him for doing something, right? So your target here is why your target customer here is a project picking your solution in front of any of the other ones. And I did not get really an explanation of why would I, as a project that has a community and wants to activate and pick you over the other ones so far.
So yeah, you're right. There are mission based projects out there like Galaxy and Zili. The core thing that we want to like stress with this one is that this whole experience is very social. So it's not meant for just, it has the tools for a project, but it's also easy enough for a smaller group to create a incentive program for their community. And the thing is, it's all about like incentivizing people across different platforms. And like we just reached the cusp of it. We've, I think, given a longer month, we would have like discovered much more deeper things that we could do. But the whole thing is, it's not only just the community leaders that can reward their community members, but the community members can also participate in the rewarding of each other. I would say that's the thing that we're using to stand out differently.
Keep in mind that just because somebody can do something does not mean that they will do something. And what you need to explain in this kind of pitch is why would they do something. So far, I see the community will never use this if it's not gotten there by the leader of the project. And that's your pitch. Like that's your whole pitch. In those 3 minutes, the most important thing is convincing us why would somebody choose your solution, because after they choose that, maybe the community will tip each other and you can explain to me why they would do that. But that's your start and end there. Like if you don't manage to do that, nobody will know about it and nobody will use it. So that's what you should focus on.
Of course, yeah. Like there's lots of things, at least on this level, where community leaders can keep their community members accountable. That's a really good starting point for a pitch to them. I'm recalling a conversation that I had with a Gitcoin grants coordinator, where they needed a way to reward users for good feedback, or rather good participation across different platforms, so that they can allocate the grants to them. And this unified ID system is the foundation of it, so that they could see all of this data from their contributors and track it over time, before the grant, after the grant, stuff like that.
Thank you, Lisan. We're about at time here. Thank you for
thanks for having me.
Project. Up next, we have Cosmic Engine. I believe he's coming right into your meeting room right now to take over. Good to go. Starting the timer.
My name is Paul, and I'm here to introduce my submission for the Raider Hackathon, a little project I'm calling Cosmic Engine. In a nutshell, Cosmic Engine aims to be the easiest way for a community or a game developer to be able to create an online space where their audience will be able to play games together using blockchain, multiplayer, and AI. as someone who's been trying to help game developers onboard into blockchain for around 5 years, I found that it's really challenging for them to get started really quickly. And what Cosmic Engine tries to do is address that by giving them the best in class open source tooling to be able to just really get their hands dirty and get started making games. Alright, and now we'll show a quick demo of Cosmic Engine. From here you can see two browser pages, each one representing a player. You can see their wallet accounts, you can see them communicating via chat, and next we'll see them play a game together. So these are some of the functionalities that Cosmic Engine provides. An easy way for people to host games, and for an easy way for developers to create sockets and allow people to play together online in real time. So as you can see here, we're simulating two people playing. Imagine that this browser on the right is someone playing across the ocean. This player on the left is someone that's playing with us right now. And there. So that was an example of a game. You can see the results recorded over their profiles. The player pressed the claim tokens button that initiated a transfer from the server to the player's burner wallet. And you can see the result here on this transaction URL. So let's just verify that URL by visiting it here on the browser. And you can see that yes, it was an actual transaction that was sent by the token, or rather by the server. And one last thing, if you want to transfer over your tokens to your wallet, then there's a button here to copy the private key, which you can associate with your other wallet and start the transfers. And one thing I did want to emphasize is all of this is open source, built on the best-in-class tooling that we found to be easy to learn and very extensible. For example, if someone wanted to just change the game up, they can just go to this directory and change the phaser game, add any game that they want regardless of engine as long as it's web-based. They can go to this code to look at how the Solana payout happens. They can change this to their own token or to use any other cross-chain token that they want. And then they can also take a look at the AI model that's being used here, yeah, using TensorFlow. So yeah, so I hope you have fun playing around with Cosmic Engine, and reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Paul. Right on the 3 minute dot. Can you go ahead there, Vakti, if you're available for some feedback?
That copying of the private key scared me a lot. Can you maybe explain how that part works and where that private key was stored when I copied it?
Of course, yeah. So it's a burner wallet, and so what we do is we put the private key on the browser local storage, and I know that's quite a privacy and security issue, right? So the idea is you kind of just move that whatever you win and move that over to your wallet once you're done with that. And yeah, so it uses what a lot of all of these other embedded wallets do, which is to store the private key somewhere on your local storage.
Okay, but you said that the private key exists on the server, right? First,
Oh no, it's just on your browser.
oh, it gets created locally.
Yeah, it does. So it's a
Okay,
burner
okay,
wallet that's designed to be thrown away once you're done using it. And in the
okay.
future, we
Thank you.
do plan to kind of associate your Solana wallet so that you just need to sign in with a signature. But I didn't really have enough time to do that.
I mean, I feel like just using a default wallet adapter that you can integrate in the site very simply would be way easier and better for this case.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'll list that as an improvement.
That's it from me.
Quick, questions for you. What exactly does your protocol provide? What tooling does it provide?
Sure. Yeah. So as I mentioned, it's like a collection of the best-in-class open source tooling that we found, which is very extensible. So it's built on Scaffold ETH, Nakama, Next.js, and Phaser, and any other game engine, as I mentioned. So I would say it's really just not a protocol, but an open source dev stack that allows anyone to just build their own games. And the main idea here is we want game developers to get started learning to use these tools. And possibly we can build like a bigger ecosystem around this once we have a lot of these decentralized servers running.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think like I would just give some feedback, like right, like best in class tooling is not specific enough, right? I think it would be good to be clear on what it is, what is it that it's possible. Do you still need to then learn Rust in order to be able to build
Oh, yeah.
the game, right? I
Yeah.
think being more specific on what your tool will provide will be super helpful to really understand, because it seems super interesting. And I would like to also look at it from just a game developer perspective. How does it make my workflow easier, better, faster, cheaper?
Yeah, that's good feedback. And I think a better way I should have said that is it's something like Ruby on Rails, for example, where everything you need is there. It's very easy to set up a multiplayer server and just a game on top of that, and also the web-free integrations. And JavaScript is the main language that you need to learn, and that's mostly it. Like a lot of that you can just tie together with any open source tooling that's available out there.
Yeah, super interesting.
Cool. Thank you. That's pretty much time. Paxson with Graver. If you're available, I can find you to unmute.
Okay, awesome, cool. Yeah, so hi, my name's Graver, and welcome to PayXN. Now, I love Solana payments, but they can also be a nightmare. They're scary, full of spam, scams, and super confusing for newcomers. It's limited. You still need Sol for gas to use any tokens. And it's extractive, with a steep learning curve that drives people away. But I'm the guy who's always been using Solana to collect payments from clients or pay my colleagues or share it with my friends. So we try to do this at scale by using Shopify and WooCommerce plugins, where we would integrate with existing new e-commerce sites we're building for our customers. Unfortunately, it's not sustainable. Only a small group of people with wallets could use it, and small businesses struggled to maintain it because they didn't have enough resources and manpower to manage crypto payments. It actually felt impossible to scale. But then, last month, a Philippines-based mobile wallet was valued at $5 billion because of the amount of virtual transactions it processed. Now, this got me thinking, and with a better understanding of the payments economy, I came up with an idea. What if we abstract everything and just take in what users are already familiar with and combine it with being able to still control of their assets and transactions while making it secure by providing fail-safe and two-factor solutions as backup? Now, how does that work? Well, you could use it anywhere, on websites, Twitter, or for tap and QR payments. You could also pay with any token like Bonk or WIF, and it automatically converts to stables like USDC or USDT. Plus, you could also pay without spending gas and also protect your secret key with on-chain 2FA. Now, people will come to know about PXN because of the viral loops we've built with it. Small businesses are rewarded with setting up deep in payment terminals by helping to verify lifetime transactions and mine ore. The Solana program also rewards early adopters by giving points on chain when you use it or share it with your friends. Now, PXN is a billion-dollar opportunity because we're partnering with already established businesses and solving their real-world pain points. Enterprises can implement Solana payments in their systems without having to worry about sustainability, and customers benefit from low transaction fees. Now, PXN has also a clear, proven business model. On every transaction, we take a small fee. Stripe made over 16 billion and Gcash with 103 billion in 2023 with this model. And finally, given our technical backgrounds and our network connecting to thousands of businesses, we feel called to build PXN. Now, let me show you what we've built so far. Okay, so first thing what we did was we wrote some Solana programs that would handle admin fees as well as process the gaseous transactions. Now, users have the option to pay whatever token that they like, and the Solana program automatically swaps them to stables for the businesses. We've also built uh, the the dashboard where businesses can create payment links and also integrate like Mercurio to actually handle for people to be able to pay using their credit cards. So, for example, we have a payment link here. Okay, let me just quickly load.
Got,
Okay, and
10
then
seconds left here,
10,
bud.
and then pay. Okay, so process. Oh, okay. Then process that one, and then yeah, that should go through. But we've also built like initial APIs to enable developers to integrate their existing e-commerce apps, and to take it a little bit further, we have actually we're also working on bridge payments where you can pay using your stable on Ethereum or any chain for that matter, and then receive the USDC on Solana. So yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you, Graver with
That's it.
Haxon. Let's move on to the judges. Let's start with Vashi this time. You want to give some feedback?
Quick question. Try to answer it short. What
Yes,
do
sir.
you have that Helio or Sphere don't?
Oh, we're working on cross-chain payments. So, for example, I think like the okay.
Nobody cares where they're going to get the money. I don't think that's a problem. Like if you want to penetrate the wide market, you want them being able to convert into fiat at the end of the day, right? So like both of them, Sphere at least can receive money on several chains already. If they want to move that money, the vendor, to a different chain, I don't think that's the main problem they have. So do you have any other selling point, any other USP over those two solutions? Why somebody should be choosing you?
To be honest, not at the moment because I think like there's a future with maybe working on like clients and then just making it like faster. But uh, right now we're probably just like because like we just see ourselves as just like garbage collectors. It's like we recognize that everything exists right now, and then we're just like piecing it together, and we just want to improve on the product, making it easier for people to just pay. That's it.
No, that's completely fair, and I do think this space is something that crypto is going to take over,
Yes, sir.
sooner or later. So having more competitors is good. But this is the question probably others are going to be asking you if you're pitching this, if you're raising for this. Try to find some clear way of showing why what you're doing better. Even if it's like make it either very obvious that users are going to have a better experience for some reason, or even more important, that your actual clients, the vendors, are for some reason going to have a better experience. And I don't think that them receiving money on a different chain is ever going to be that selling point. It's a nice feature, but that's not going to make somebody choose. That's the end of my feedback.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Exactly on time. And go to you there, JP.
Yeah, so I think that the key here to me is that this is not really different to anything that's out there. So have you talked to vendors right now, and have you really done some customer research to determine that this is something
Yes.
that they need?
Yes. So like during the past like 3-4 weeks, we've talked to 50 like customers like on the personal level, and their problem with crypto payments right now is it's just like confusing uh and there's a lot of like intricacies like I myself like I needed to like spend like 2 years just to like learn like everything just to be able to like understand what I wanted to do it. But at the end of the day they just want
So,
to
so when you say customers, are you referring to merchants?
yes,
Okay.
like because we're working with freelancers, we're working with developers, we're working with designers, and I think they're just like sick and tired of like PayPal or Stripe or the other uh, like solutions out there, and they're just like taking a lot of like their fees. Although like price point is not a really a big determinant right now, but I feel that like just being able to like come up with a way where you can uh, like use like the virtual payments, and then the Solana technology, like or the blockchain, is actually just abstracted. So people don't really need to care about like what the technologies are using. But if you're able to provide them like a more like a seamless like experience to process their payments or transactions, I think that would be a good way to go.
Yeah, so some feedback there. Couple of things that you need to make sure is um, understand how merchants are actually taking money now. Giving them
Mhm.
another terminal to collect money is not something that they want. They're going to be using Toast, Clover, uh, Square, whatever other terminal they're using if you're doing that kind of like retail type of solutions. Then when it comes to online payments, you really need to differentiate yourself with Stripe that now they're taking USDC and they're taking
Mhm.
1% commission and settling directly on the merchant account. So I think you really need to look at how the what the customer journey is when it comes to payments management, map it all out, and really figure out what can you
Yeah.
improve and do different.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you. It's the
Thank
end
you.
of the time for the judges.
Cool. Hey guys, I'm Jas and we're building Astralane. Sujit and I both are computer science engineers. We met at uni, built two startups together over the last 7 years. In our last VC funded startup, we even survived a DeFi hack. Paid out all the victims 1:1. This is where we realized at a really high cost the importance of low latency access to the network. Solana's current infrastructure is a nightmare for devs to deal with. From clunky infrastructure to high cost and maintenance, it makes like basic Web2 features like historical portfolio tracking, PNL feel so hard to achieve. Being two-time founders, we knew it was high time to build tooling for devs to access and efficiently manage the high throughput that comes with Solana. This is where Astralane comes in. We have two main verticals. One is a lightning fast indexing engine, which basically traverses through the entire Solana blockchain in seconds, delivering real time data use cases such as portfolio tracking, PNL tracking, trade analysts and analyzers, recommendation engines which are trained over the data that we index. The second is a data streaming networking extension, which allows for low latency access to the Solana network for write operations. This is customized for domain specific workflows such as market making, HFT operations, and all of that. If you're not a developer, all of this basically means that users are getting faster execution, better pricing, and map protection. Over to our CTO, Sujit, who spun up a few consumer apps on top of Astralane tooling to show the scale of impact that can be created.
Thanks for that, Just. All right, so I just need my colleague Hashim to be able to share the screen. If you guys could allow that. All right, perfect. So let's jump into some product demo. So first we have our build your own program indexer. Let's say you want to index all the liquidation transactions from margin 5. All you have to do is select the instruction that you want, select all the parameters that you need. It's a bunch of clicks without going through the trouble of figuring out the ideal or the discriminators. You just select your config, you run the job. Now, not only does this backfill, it also active fills and maintains it for you. Once you have it ready, you have a GraphQL endpoint which you can just query and get all the data that you need. Now, over the last couple of weeks, we really wanted to push this to its limits, right? So we decided to build a MEV dashboard during the radar week. Now, this is especially useful if you're an LP or if you're a MEV researcher or if you're just an application developer and you want to figure out where exactly you're leaking MEV within your application, right? This has like interesting use cases beyond just like DeFi. Now, switching back to just to talk about our flywheel.
Thank you, Sujit. So I'm just going to share my screen again. Now, this is where it all comes together. With over 2,500 active developers on Solana, the demand for real time on chain data is skyrocketing. This is
Got
where
30 seconds.
developers would use Astralane for indexing and streaming services, which powers millions of API and RPC calls every day. This ultimately leads to enhanced user experience, more app engagement, leading to higher revenue, which is reinvested by the devs into user acquisition, which brings more users on chain, fuels even more app development on Solana, completing one part of the flywheel. But it just doesn't stop there, right? As these apps mature, the demand for real time data feed grows. The developers would need a streamer to act on this index data, triggering on chain actions like automated trading, alerts, and all of that. The more our streamer is used, the more data it generates, feeding back into the need for our indexes. This is shown by the fact that two HFT operators, three market makers use both our products in unison together. These flywheels power each other. As more data is created, more value is extracted from Astralane, continuously driving growth both in the Solana ecosystem and our business. That brings us to the end of our pitch. Thank you so much. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Vashi, do you want to take this one to start with?
Are you using your own infrastructure or are you working with some of the currently active providers on Solana with this?
We use our own bare metal setup for most part of the infrastructure, but there are some components which we depend on third party sources for. For example, we don't maintain the ideal and the discriminator DBs ourselves, although we do maintain the infrastructure which uses those data points.
Okay. Uh, I mean, I don't have a lot of questions other than saying indexing on Solana is like the biggest pain point, and there's been even a few threads lately asking for like Solana developers what is their biggest issue with Solana. I do feel like the way you present it makes it seem way easier than it really is, and there's a lot of things here that others with a lot of experience and a lot of money already tried solving and haven't been super successful. That said, if you like, definitely more minds on that is a good thing. So good luck. I think this is like super technical and drilling very much into it wouldn't make a lot of sense here. Maybe just a tip for the presentation, other than showing the how you easily can set up one of the indexers for yourself, right? Maybe show something being actually queried and how quickly something in real time, like impress me with how quickly it can be in these 3 minutes. And I think that that wins you a lot more wow effects. That's it.
Okay, so just to answer that, we actually had a DEX PNL as well. And what it does, it goes through your entire ledger history over the last 2 years of all your trades and spits out your daily PNL, like over the last 2 years, and it does it in around 15 seconds. We just couldn't fit the whole thing into the demo. So
You have to show
that's
that and then get like Ansem's wallet or something and show everybody the
uh,
stupidest things he sold 4 months ago. Something like that. That's what people
right.
remember. This is more of like a presentation kind of feedback. If you have an audience and a lot of judges, even on the hackathon, are not going to be technical enough to understand a lot of things there, show them in practice something that makes them go, "Oh wow," or something like that.
That's great feedback, Vashi. JP, what about you? What do you have to say?
Um, Indexing is a hard problem to solve. So if you are like focusing on this, I think it's a great opportunity. You just saw, you have DAS from Metaplex now, Aura, Helios has Proton, and what else? So and then they have this new one for CK compression. So I think indexing is a big problem to solve. What I would like to understand is it you are I think this is a business to business product. It's not for consumers, really. So using examples of just looking at somebody's wallet and ledger, I don't think that's what sells. That's not those like end users are not going to pay you money, and this is a very also probably compute intensive, machine intensive. So lots of costs for you that you need to be able to recover. So really understanding that and communicating that would have been better, I think, in my opinion, in your pitch. And then how do you go to market and show me, for example, as a project that I could be a customer of yours? And what is my benefit of using your indexer versus any other indexer out there as a product?
Okay, got it. Just to answer a bit on the first side there, in terms of cost, whatever stack we run, we have stripped down the entire RPC client. We have also stripped down the indexing process using Bloom filters so that you don't necessarily index through all the data. You just index through a part of the data which is meaningful. A couple of guys on ETH are already doing this. We just use the same methodology applied there. It just saves us a lot of egress costs for like
Mm-hmm.
traversing through the data, and we don't have to store as much as like other indexing providers. So what that matters to like the end B2B client that we offer this to is like their net bill at the end of the month even if they scale this to 1 million users, is actually quite small. Like you can actually afford it, even if you're a startup doing like an ML business on Solana. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this is definitely interesting. So what is your business
We got
model?
10 seconds, so just quick response, we'll move on.
yeah, it's a SaaS model. It's divided into different product verticals. You pay us for the storage costs and the infra costs, and that's it.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, Jas and Judith, for Astrolane.
Should be good, right?
Stream looks good. Go ahead, timer started.
Perfect. So my name is Tony. I go by Lazy Soul online, and I'm with the Epicentral Labs. We're going to be presenting the Token Lab. Token Lab is a hassle-free, low-cost, and free-form token creator. With just a few clicks, you can create a token of your choice in just a matter of seconds, acting as a low barrier of entry for users to create customized tokens with transparency and no secondary obligations at only a fraction of the cost, keeping it simple, limitless, and transparent. Right now, creating tokens on Solana is pretty difficult, especially if you're trying to make one from scratch, requiring high technical knowledge, knowing CLI, and you're also very limited to your customizability as to what you can do that token without that knowledge. And this creates a lot of room for error. So usually users go ahead and they run off and they find applications. Now these applications already solve this problem. However, there's problems with those problems, right? Or those solutions. One of which being high cost. The platform fees are through the roof. They charge you for every little thing, such as authority revoking and metadata uploading. Furthermore, a lot of them are shady. They're unethical. Got fake blogs, fake reviews, fake audits. And you list it, right? And who knows, maybe even a wallet drainer once in a while. Most importantly, they're very unintuitive designed. Poor UI, tons of information, super unorganized. And if I was just trying to explore Solana and trying to create a token from scratch, I wanted something a little bit more direct and not something so in my face. Overall, the Token Lab actually does the opposite. We've got a friendly UI. We're transparent in our fees. We break them down, break the cost down so the user knows exactly what they're paying for. We also are including ZK compression capabilities, and we're also very affordable. Speaking of which, we're actually 84% cheaper than the average token creating app out there. If you were to Google right now, token creator on Solana, or create a token as SPL token, these are your top results. And look at the cost of that. We're going to be charging it only like 0.05% or 0.05 Solana. The reason for that price, we're not going to really break it down here, but it's more or less actually takes up for the metadata and upload, and it's even cheaper with ZK compression capabilities, with the net profits going strictly to our DAO. Our team consists of 4 people, me, the founder, and Turk, one of our public relations and co-lead developer. We've got 2 other developers that help out in the back end. Really quick, I'm going to jump in and show the demo. So right here, we've got this on DevNet. I'm running it locally right now. I've already got my wallet connected. Here we can just quickly put up a logo. I'll call it whatever. And then we put a logo for it, whatever quantity, decimal amount, and a description if needed. And we can revoke mint authority, update authority. All of this costs only for 0.05 SOL. We hit that, and we get that cost breakdown in here as well. Hit confirm. Got a nice, simple, very clean UI specific to new users and experienced users as well. And once that's through, it'll pop out, say, hey, your mint's successful. And we can go ahead and we can check that out on the Explorer as well. Now, to save time, I'm going to go ahead and showcase the ZK compression as well. Now, right now with ZK compression, uploading metadata is pretty difficult. It's not really researched all the way yet. So currently we only have the quantity and decimal amount. However, it works, and we can remove mint authority with these ZK tokens, or these compressed tokens. Once again, we hit that, and I actually will showcase the transaction successful here using the Light Protocols compression token program.
You got about 10 seconds.
So quickly jump. Oh, what am I doing? Here we go. Just grab that, and just because it's easier on SoulScan, I'll click on this guy here. And we can see here it interacted with the compressed token program. Thank you very much, and that's all I've got. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent presentation. Thank you for taking the time. We'll go with JP first this time.
Okay. So what is the actual use, like opportunity here that you're trying to tackle when there's all these other tools? I think even Helio came up with an airdrop tool and token.
Sure. So currently there's quite a few things. So first of all, if you're a new user to Solana, you don't know what to choose. And we would actually be a part of that problem as well. But most importantly, a lot of them are unethical. And I actually have a few existing examples here that you can check out, especially if you look up on Google, like create, Solana token. This also saves a lot of time. It's very time consuming to try to create a token from scratch. I mean, sure, you can go to the Solana CLI and you can add some extensions here and there, but when it comes to actually uploading metadata and you're trying to make it much more simple, much more efficient, let's say you mess something up or whatever else you want to customize something or create multiple different types of tokens or extensions, whatever, you can actually just go straight to our app and not pay, an arm and a leg for, using these other applications where they're charging half a sol, upwards of that. And FlexBeam actually being one of the more cost-efficient choices with a lot more tool options. One of our future goals is to actually, integrate with Streamflow, create different ways for these users to create vesting contracts, and want to also provide a way to decompress tokens if that option is available. Once well, not options available, it's already available, but if it's necessary for the project or a user that's wanting to decompress them, and later on maybe you can jump into a more efficient way of creating markets. Recently, there's been Manifest, which is kind of like the V3 of OpenBook, so we've been looking pretty deep into that.
We got 10 seconds, or we can just add that time to Vashi's feedback.
Perfect. I'll need it. This is possibly the best presentation for the product that I hate the most so far. I don't think we should continue normalizing people creating something that just by being that type of asset has an exchange monetary value on chain. You're saying that there's a lot of unethical solutions. There's way more ethical solutions. You're calling them unethical just because they're trying to take the money from the people who are trying to mostly take more money from more other people. Sure, even if that's true, there's a lot of open source and completely free token creators of every shape and form. You just don't know about them because they're not spending a lot of thousands of dollars on marketing, fake reviews, YouTube videos like the ones that you listed. For most of the ones that you listed, I'm aware of exactly how much they're spending and how their approach there is. And that's why they're getting a lot of money from users using it. We are not missing this kind of tool. And if you want to create a token for free, there's several options already available. Your presentation was amazing. And if I heard this kind of presentation in any way, shape or form, I would pick to use your tool. But I strongly feel that this is not the kind of tool that Solana needs. And I would like us to stop normalizing that somebody coming to Solana, that making them easy for them to create a token is somehow a good and expected thing. That's it.
Okay. No, it's great feedback. I do appreciate that a lot. And if you don't mind, just kind of what would you advise we could focus on if we were to kind of go further down the route of solving already existing solutions out there? Doesn't have to be regarding tokens of that sort, but in general, what would you say is kind of like a what would you say is something that is lacking in Solana that has these existing solutions, but they have tons of issues? If you could just like very briefly throw it out there, throw a bone.
I mean, look, even my team, like when I had these situations where I need to do something and then there's no tooling for that because nobody saw a business model around it, then we put it in our blast control tools that nobody pretty much knows they exist, like ways to update the actual token metadata and some of those manipulation things. And if you present this as a way for somebody to do it without using Pump.fun or any of these other launch pads, then maybe including some education in there and some automated ways of creating starting pools. Like I'm not a fan of it, but I think there's a gap between my mom can create a token, right? Like Pump.fun and some of these other tools, and developers who are going to go to CLI and do it. Maybe if somebody wants to learn how to create a token, so you can at least present it as a, learning how to play with this aspect of blockchain and Solana and teaching them about all of the options, how he would do this and that, not just making it easy to create a token period, right?
Understandable. I mean, that makes sense. I will say though, that with Pump.fun,
10
there's
seconds.
sure with Pump.fun, there's not much customizability. You're kind of stuck in pump.fun up until it gets released. And even then, I mean, it's really hard to kind of come off as original in the sense of that. So there's no really, with the token lab in this case here, you are allowed to create your own token and you're completely free form. You're able to do whatever you want with that token, whether it's, create vesting or allocated another way, create your own tokenomics, but there's no secondary obligations for that. And
Thank
try
you,
to go for the most
Lazy
efficient route.
Soul.
But I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, thanks, valuable feedback.
Hey guys, so we're Layer.fun and we are bringing the next billion gamers into Web3. So the problem we're trying to address is why aren't gamers playing Web3 games? And number one reason I think is that they're not very fun and engaging. And they're also driven by highly inflated speculation. And games are not really curated fairly based on how fun they are, but how much of a marketing power they have. So how do we solve this? We get more good games on Web3, but that's not easy. So how do we do it? Well, we believe that instead of trying to create new Web3 games, it's better to convert the existing Web2 games into Web3. But then in order to do that, you're going to have to convince the game developers' minds. And to convince them, I think one of the biggest, strongest value proposition is to help them with the user acquisition. It is one of the biggest challenge. I myself is a game developer for the last 10 years, and user acquisition is probably one of the hardest and most capital demanding problem. So we make a solution that is actually quite cheaper. In fact, we're about 90% cheaper than using like Google Ads and whatnot. So, and another solution is to provide them with a simple integration that just works really well. One other solution is to, or solution we're offering to the player base is that we provide transparent curation of the actual payouts that these games give. And if you go to our website, you're going to see the full size, how big the prizes are, and whether if the game's actually paying out. So I'm going to jump into the demo really quick, but essentially how the layer fund works is that the game developers first have to create a prize pool where they allocate some amounts of Solana, or it could be other other tokens. And the game then sends the treasure NFT to the player. And then the player, when they have the NFTs, they can take it to the layer fund and convert that into tokens. So it can be either Solana or SLP. So I'll go ahead and present the demo. So this is our website, Layer.fun. And here you can see the curation of different games that are actually paying out prizes for playing. And so it's not just some arbitrary curation. You can see that these games are actually paying out. If you click on the link, you can see that there actually, in fact, is a prize pool of 3 Solana and that it has been paying out. And if you were to, let's say, play a game, and the game, like an example game would look like this. And if I were to, let's say, approach this other unit and kill it, I'm gonna receive an NFT. Okay, so there's treasure that I just received. I'm gonna mint it as an NFT. And let me reduce this. Oh yes, okay. I gotta log into my Phantom wallet.
You got 30 seconds.
All right, maybe not the best time, but essentially, once you do this and you go to the open treasure, it's going to detect all the NFTs I have in my wallet, and you can burn it, and then it'll show you that the NFT is being burnt, and then you're gonna receive the tokens. And another process I just want to quickly demo is that you could go to my layers, and then you can create a layer. So this is the layer creation process. So if you have a game and you want to allocate a certain amount of Solana and decide on the reward amount. Yeah, so continuing on, the business model is that we're going to charge 10% of the price pool. So if a project wants to start a layer with $100,000 of pool size, we're going to charge 10,000. The market opportunity is huge. Web2 gaming companies alone spend over $6 billion last year just for user acquisition. And some games spend over $10 per install. We've already have $10,000 committed to use our campaigns to acquire users from various projects. And that is it. So thank you.
Great.
And,
thank you. Let's start with Vashi this time. I keep switching back and forth to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, thank you for that. There was a video that I remember, like last year on Twitter that went viral, which was Web3 gaming was going just great, and it was this video of somebody playing a game, and then every time some action happens, the game freezes, and the wallet pop-up comes out for him to sign or mint or do something, which is definitely not the UX anybody will ever want to use. And when that happened here, I have to admit I started laughing a bit. Find a way how these things can happen in the back end when the game ends, or at some point it can only one transaction be moved to the wallet. And the other thing, my other feedback is, you say there is a certain price that the publishers are paying for user acquisition or per install, pretending like you will not have to spend that much or more money to acquire users and like you're solving that problem. While I don't think you really showed how, in which way you're solving that problem. So you're going to incentivize, but not everybody's going to know about you. So if you're already trying to explain that you're kind of helping with that problem, show some example or some kind of a short plan how you actually long-term make that investment from their side lower, and at least present a theory why your approach will lower that cost. You were muted if you're responding, but I think the problem is they have to allow you to unmute, right? Guys, can you allow him to unmute so he can respond?
Fix, sorry. Continue.
It's okay. Thanks for the feedback. I don't know if I'm supposed to respond to that. I agree with everything you're saying. If I may say some about how we're different about some of the other things out there, is that the prices can be fixed amount, but it can also be a range of amount where there's a greater chance of earning lower price, and there's a extremely low chance of earning a large chunk of pool. So there's that sweepstakes component that actually makes it more desirable for people to participate without actually having it costing a lot from the publishers for allocating budget to advertise their game. And I agree about what you said about having this barrier of entry for some of the people trying to having to use wallets. And one way they were introducing is having everything work in the background. We're partnered with the various products like Blockus and Third Web and whatnot, so we can make the whole UI UX very seamless, so that people don't actually have to worry about signing wallets. But yeah,
It's not even about using a wallet. The problem is even people who use a wallet don't want the experience in the game being like, something happened, now I have to sign. Something happened, now I have to sign, right? Like if somebody is going to play the game, they have to enjoy the game. They're not going to enjoy a game if they need to sign every time. So, have a custodial wallet that they can automatically empty by the end of the round or the end of the day, or something that allows them when they're playing, that they don't have to be signing things in the middle of it. That's all.
Cool, thank you. And off to JP.
Yeah, so I think that you are part of the mod.io team. Is that okay? Because what I wasn't, I think that changes the whole thing, because you already have a ton of games there. So, because I was trying to understand how you're going to convert Web 2 to Web 3, right? The conversion is not on the game itself. It's just adding prize pools and adding this type of mechanic to existing Web 2 games. That part is not clear to me, right? How are you improving user acquisition?
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for the question. So we want to do one thing really well. That's our approach in converting Web2 games into having Web3 features, which we're going to start off with these reward NFTs. And yes, we have a large pool of the games, but we're actually collaborating with half a dozen chains, protocols, and projects to launch like Web3 native games as well right now. So but yeah, to answer your question, the first step at us getting our games into Web3 is to support these rewarding mechanism and try to do it really well, because they all have this common issue. And their biggest, actually, the reason that we started working on these products is because they all have expressed that their biggest KPI and the biggest headache that they're having is the user acquisition and engagement. Essentially, MTU is probably their biggest concern. So this is why we came up with this product, to maximize the impact of helping them acquire users and having them engage in game.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. I do think that the thoughtful integration of Web3 mechanics is what's going to make the whole difference, because gamers, like the whole point that user acquisition is so expensive, it's because there's just so many games out there, right? There's how do you differentiate yourself? How are you creating an engaging experience? And that's, I think, the missing part with all these games that are out there and people just throwing money at them. So I think
10
really
seconds.
focusing on that, that improved discovery, I think it's probably where you can add a ton of value.
Yeah, so we've chatted with a bunch of different gaming guilds and whatnot, and some of the issues they're having is a lot of these like play to earn listing website. They all have these like arbitrary metrics that they say, oh, these games pay, but there's no way for you to know whether if they actually pay or whether if there's a prize remaining for you to earn. This is why our curation is different, because we actually show the prize pool, and we actually show that these games are paying out.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. We are good to go. I'll set the timer.
Awesome. Hey everyone, so this is Tim. I'm here to tell you more about Beastrix. So Beastrix is an exciting turn-based team battler with roguelike elements for endless variety and Web3 integration for an enhanced gaming experience. In Beastrix, you'll mint and then assemble a team of beasts to start your run. In the run, you'll encounter randomly selected beasts of increasing difficulty, which you must either defeat or capture. Now the run ends when your team perishes, and you'll be able to earn rewards based on your run's performance. Can I pause here for a sec? I realize I am so stupid. I put the wrong presentation, so 1 second.
It's all good. We'll just fill this dead time
Going. Yes, yes.
with some great info. Yeah, present. Wow, it's a quick switch. Audio and yeah, I think you're good to go.
Good to go. So you'll be rewarded based on your run's performance, and you could start another run and try to progress farther with your new team.
We actually have a
so
bit
our
of a
roguelike-
pop-up in front of us. Audience window. Is it people have that one in front there? Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So our roguelike game is just a start to our Beastrix universe. We believe that by having our beasts represented as NFT, there is a great opportunity to create an ecosystem where our beasts are the center of multiple games, which players can truly own their beasts, and allows for community members to develop games or experiences themselves by using our beast metadata or by appending to them. So this will help ensure the longevity of our lovely beasts. In terms of monetization, we're focused on the market of casual gamers and collectors. We want our games to be simple yet fun to play so that everyone can jump in and experience fun with our beasts. Speaking about our beasts, we've had some great feedback about how people really love the look of some of our beasts that we created. So we want to appeal to collectors who want to build a vast collection of beasts themselves. We plan to earn revenue mainly through the sales of in-game items, which will allow players to progress farther in their runs or in other game modes, as well as cosmetics, so that we could create more of a personalization and hopefully more of a bond for our players and their beasts. Eventually, we do think our beasts would be great on merch, so it's definitely something we want to explore as our project progresses further. Now here's a demo.
You got about 10 seconds left, so we'll probably wrap up once this is done. This looks sick.
Awesome. And that's it.
That's it. Thank you. JP, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So what is the ecosystem incentive to bring in other developers into the ecosystem? So I thought that's what you were talking about, right? Bring others to build on top of your IP.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so that there's more different experiences or game modes for our player base to come in, and for the developers, what we want to do is open up ways for them to sell in-game items as well. We're sort of using Honeycomb's resource management, so we're sort of going to open that up so people can create their own resources in the game and then use our beasts sort of as the base characters.
Okay, so everything happens within your game, or can those developers build other games outside?
They can build other games outside.
Okay, and then what is your, I think you're going to have this question often. It's like, what is your user acquisition or your player acquisition strategy?
Yeah, so right now we've just been talking to a few gaming communities. Right now, just trying to sign up some initial alpha testers so that we could get some feedback and do some refinements. And then we're looking into sort of doing some launches on gaming launch pads. That's sort of what we're aiming for right now. But if there's any suggestions or feedback, we're happy to hear.
Cool.
Well,
we got 20 seconds
Oshi?
left. Or Vashi, if you want to take that time.
I mean, I wanted to focus on the same thing that JP said, which is you explained why these should be NFTs by saying that you think others are going to build on it. So, do you know any other cases where somebody built an IP and then somebody else developed a game using somebody else's NFTs?
I think that's not really what we've seen, so that's why I think it is a fun idea for us to explore.
No, but I did hear the idea 10 times already, right? Many, many more times. There's a very clear reason why you're building your own thing and want to publish your own NFTs and not going to somebody else's NFTs and building on them, right? Like put yourself in those people's shoes. Nobody's going to be doing that because there's a clear reason why you want to build a game on the NFTs. So I would just change how you defend these being NFT because that's like nobody else is going to be building a game on your NFTs. If somebody thinks they can build a game, people will play, they will want to mint their own. And secondly, even for you, if you put it in practice, these NFTs should get more valuable if they stat up writing those stats in metadata. You're not going to allow somebody else to be changing your metadata in your games. You need to curate them all. And that's why JP asked your question, how do you incentivize people to build in your ecosystem? Because you need to be leading this and controlling this a lot. And then maybe if you're incentivizing them, giving them a cut, probably have a token and so on, that would make sense. But I would never bring that as an argument in a presentation again, if you don't have already the first team interested in doing that, because a lot of us heard it, but it never actually in practice happened that somebody went building on the other one. So just find another reason there. And other than that, I mean, it looks very cool. It's clear where the where you got the inspiration from. And yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Perfect. Okay, so where Solana Gives, and Solana Gives is actually a generally new idea for basically crypto, I think. It's a Web2 design. And my co-founder Harley's does this for a living in Web2. But basically what we're looking to do is build a donor advised fund for crypto donations. We'll get into a little bit about what a donor advised fund is, but we're really looking at having four key pillars. First of all, we want to use the blockchain because it's quick and it's transparent. We believe that the impact would be really great for this ecosystem and just in general for the future. We believe this is feasible because we know that it's a Web2 product and it works. And I think there's a big use case for crypto, and we'll get into that. And then finally, just with exponential growth, I think tapping into a lot of crypto native people could really see these results grow. So what a DAF is typically when people donate, they have to donate straight to a charity. This can create headaches because sometimes you have to sell an asset, but also you might not know where you want to donate it to. So what a DAF does is you actually take the users, these orange users, would then provide that donation to Solana Gives, which is a foundation itself, and then through our system would then be able to push it onto the charities. This is really important because you can get a tax receipt at the moment of donation, but you don't actually have to assign it to the right charities at the time. Harley does this full time as a CEO in our current company, and then I do this. I just do the dev. So unfortunately, she wasn't able to be here for the presentation today, but I'm trying to do what I can. So the big thing here is capital gains. And so let's say a user wanted to donate bonk. Typically, they would have to sell that bonk, transfer it to USD, and then give it to a charity. And that selling point, typically that is a capital gains event, and they would have to pay tax on that. So if they were to do that and sell it, they would only be able to donate maybe $8,000 to the charity of that $10,000 originally, and they would get under a $4,000 tax credit. However, if you were to take that 10,000 K bonk, proceed it to Solana Gives, for instance, we could then process that, and that'd be a $10,000 donation to the charity and a larger tax receipt. So it's a win-win-win. I just want to skip over the roadmap just for time, but financials, we see that this is a Web2 product. Transaction fees, a small percentage of every transaction. We would take that for Solana Gives. There is also a holding period where those funds aren't assigned to the charities yet. And from the interest earned on that, that would power the Solana Gives ecosystem. And then finally, it is a registered charity. So if people see what's happening in this world and they want to donate, they would also be able to donate and help fund this account. I'm going to do a quick product demo here.
We got about 30 seconds left.
Perfect. That's all I need. And so a user would log in with their wallet, they see their current balance, and then they can come in and do two actions. One is fund their Solana Gives account and then grant to charity. So if they come in and fund, I won't do it for all the time, but all their tokens are here. They can change what they want to do. And once they do that, it will update their Solana Gives balance. They can come into grant to charity, select which one they want to give to, and then process that donation. All of this goes back onto their dashboard where they can see their previous transactions, download tax receipts, and you go on Solana Explorer. I think the one thing that's important here is we will do an automatic transition or transaction from the bonk to USD at the time of donation. I'm
Great.
sorry if I ran over there, but I appreciate the
Just
time.
a little bit. Yeah, JP, do you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, so this is different to like the giving block in that giving block you have to integrate, I guess, into the charity. Or I think that you can also find places to donate on the giving block if you just want to donate directly.
Yeah, so the biggest issue we've seen is a lot of charities don't have the capabilities, or only some have the capabilities to actually process the crypto. Solana Gives would be that middle factor where we would do that transaction and then just give them USD into their bank account like a normal transaction.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to understand the difference because they also are at the DAF, I think is what it's called, right? So.
Okay, I would have to look a little bit into it. I haven't seen the ability to do every single token as well, but I would have to get back to you about that, GB.
Okay, gotcha. I think then the other question in my mind is how do you provide transparency on the charities that you choose and how they're using the funds?
Yeah, so in general donation, oftentimes you don't get to govern how they were to spend the funds. What we would do is we'd have the full list of all charities within our regions, so Canada, US, and the EU. And then they would have that transaction. Typically, you don't get to control it, like unless you were to make a large donation with a charity. But that would be a one-to-one use case typically.
Okay, so really the blockchain
All it is just to enable people to get tax breaks by donating to charity.
Yeah, the key thing is if you sell an asset like Bonk and then you go and don't like use that to go through USDC, that's a capital gains like event. And so if you donate it in kind without selling that asset, that wouldn't be a taxable event.
Great. And 2 minutes to Vashi if he has any questions or feedback.
Yeah, this is more of a North America continent tax kind of thing. That's a bit foreign to me, so I'm not going to go into that part. But you mentioned that it adds transparency. But to me, it seems that there's no additional transparency here either, because if somebody's sending you crypto and you're converting to USD, the only transaction on chain is from a user to you, right? So there's no additional transparency here being added. So I would not be mentioning that as a big, USP of this. And secondly, I want to understand, how are you picking charities? And is there, I think that's what also JP was asking, but you misunderstood his question. How do you decide if a charity gets added there or not? Because clearly the charities who are there, and you need to have some kind of a criteria who you're picking, how you're picking them. Is at least that part somehow transparent?
Yeah. Yeah, so right now we're just showing these for the hackathon, but typically we like the CRA in Canada and in the US, they have their own charities list where they have every single charity. So we would just have a search bar and the users could donate to any charity they want. There wouldn't be a selective thing with Solana Gives. Solana Gives would be cause neutral. To your point about the transparency, I think that's a great idea. And I think what we would add is we would have a process here, just like we have the links here, to show that transparency of that grant going from us to the food banks of Canada. I think that's a good point.
There we go. I think that's very good. And I think one other point that you mentioned is people often want to donate but don't know who to give it to. I do think maybe some more help here into giving some more information about these charities, explaining why somebody suggested now or something, like give users a feeling that they're getting a suggestion that's backed by something. Maybe that would solve one of the things you said you would solve. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a dashboard where they see the most popular charities, or maybe some of the ones that are doing the biggest things. I think that's a great idea as well.
I mean, also, right, like if now a storm crushes a country, maybe featuring the charities that now need it more than usual and explaining why isn't a bad choice, right? So in that case, I can come here and see maybe somebody really needs it more right now.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Vosh.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for meeting, guys. I'm new to Web3 and essentially to on-chain stuff, but my name's Ryan, and I build payment applications for every people, just normal type of people. And so where this idea came from is we were sponsoring an event, a bicycle race, and we wanted to give prizes to the contestants. I wanted to donate prizes. And I wanted to be something cool, but a lot of the contestants wanted something like cash. Cash is king. So, you could give an Amazon gift card, but what we wanted was it to be a bit more free and clear so they could pay for gas or things. And we were going to donate $10,000. Really, the only way to do this these days is sadly kind of a Visa gift card, unless I wrote, 10. So we wanted to give $10,000 away to 100 people. So $100 each. And I had to go to the grocery store and try to get 100 empty Visa gift cards. And to do that, it actually cost me $15,000 to get $10,000 worth of Visa gift cards in small denominations like $10. And the downfall is after giving it away, you've locked $10 into an amount that somebody has to spend online. And it's really hard to do because the average web checkout really only allows you to put in one credit card. So you have to buy something for less than $10. So all of that breakage is also lost. So we spent $15,000 to give away $10,000. And then the average one of our contestants may have forgot it, lost it, or didn't even get that $10,000 out of it. So it's a very inefficient system today when it comes to like gifting and giving money in the clear. And that's why we made this concept, paper money. So it's a new twist on like that old Bitcoin wallet idea. And what's going on is we tried to solve a lot of that old Bitcoin paper wallet idea problems. So underneath the surface, we're obviously using Solana as the chain, which is great because you can get money in and out quick and it's nice and cheap. We're using PayPal as the stable coin, which is amazing because there's a ton of merchant network in 183 different countries.
I don't think you're sharing your deck. Did I lose you guys? Maybe I did.
I see the website
Same.
stream.
Yeah, I don't see him anymore. I think he.
Oh, I think he got dropped.
Yeah.
Bad connection, I guess. We'll wait 5 seconds. Otherwise, we might move on to stream. Oh, no, he's back. There we go. There we go. I'm going to ask you to unmute. It must be your internet connection there. Ryan. I think it's Ryan.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry, guys. I might turn off my video to try to.
Yeah, turn off your
save a little bit of
video
bandwidth.
and try sharing your screen. I think we couldn't see a deck. We saw your like web page. So if you were showing your deck, we could
Sure.
we could.
Are you able to see the webpage for now?
You can see a web page. Yeah, we'll give you another 30 seconds to a minute to finish off your pitch.
Okay, I'll try here. So generally the concept was to solve the problems with that old-fashioned paper wallet, where if you printed it, your printer had the private key stored in memory and all of these other things. So we tried to invent a new type of QR code that actually obfuscated. And the only way to get data off of that new type of QR code was to know two icons and to cut it up. And so what happens when you cut it up is you slice it and you chop it, and then you are able to scan it. So the concept of getting to an area where you could release the funds, you actually need to destroy the bill. And so that was one of our ideas. The other idea is when you check the balance of the coin, we are logging every time somebody checks the balance. And we also log if the balance ever changes. So if you guys scan this QR code here for this paper wallet, it should take you to a page which shows you that it actually is empty right now. There is no balance on it, but we log that you checked it, what your IP address is and where you were from. And if you ever scan the destructible private key, you would need to cut this, and then you would scan it, and we would log. But generally, our concept was around thing. Oh, sorry.
I think you're cutting out just a little bit. We'll give you 10 more seconds, then we got to pass it off to the judges.
No problem. So generally, the concept was around gifting. Underneath the surface, we're using Portal to create the wallets. So every one of these is a Portal wallet ID. And the printed part of the private key is half of the private key. So it is just half. It is your share, wallet share that is on there. And that is it.
Very cool. Thank you. And we'll start with Vashi this time.
Because of the technical problems and the cutting of the audio, I think I'm missing something here. But the one thing that I really felt like doesn't really make me happy and doesn't play well with the crypto ethos is you logging IP addresses and saving that and checking that. It's not something that I would like. Just that would make me usually not wanna try to use something. Other than that, I think it's a cool prop. I feel like you overcomplicated it a bit. I think the whole point here is you gave somebody something that looks like a paper money that they can collect. And I think you should just keep it as simple as that and probably show some applications, possibly some stories how people would be using crypto if that was the way that would be distributed or something like that. I think this should be simpler and just playing into that idea of somebody getting a bunch of paper makes them happier. You should probably talk to Camino team. They gave, I think, 10,000 bills of Hubble USD back on Breakpoint, and the reception was quite great. Get some positive stories from there, and say that you want to make people be able to do that for any currency.
I agree with you. I think that's a great idea. I think, the goal was to have a single wallet and almost be able to use it like an ATM. So you could kind of choose what denominations you want. When you go to an ATM, it's like, oh, I want to take out 1,000, and it asks you what type of bills, and it would automatically kind of split up your balance into these different bills. Giving bills to regular people is a great way to get regular people introduced into crypto and figuring out, how do I get this PYUSD into a transactional state so I can use it? And, with marketing dollars, even if you were giving away dollar bills to people, I agree with you. People are going to grab it, scan it, learn more. It is a good idea. I like it being as user friendly as possible for everyday people to extract it.
Cool. Thank you. And JP, what's your feedback here?
I don't see how this will appeal to regular people, which is where the whole story started. Oh, right. It's okay. We wanted to give people rewards. We wanted to give them $10 gift cards. Ultimately, these are regular people that want to be able to spend it. So giving them this, you get a wallet, and then what? How do they go about and spend it?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that is the key here. So we were going to have different insides on the template. This template is more of like the wallet template for storage or for you. If the other use case is, hey, I want to leave it in value and use it to trade as is. So I'm going to give you the piece of paper, then I can give the piece of paper to somebody else. So there was that concept. The gifting concept would have a different inside. And so when you scan it, we would then be able to extract that balance to you in an easier way. So if it's a PayPal account or a Venmo account, which are great on and off ramps that everybody already has, that's why we went with PYUSD as a coin, because 1 in 2 people in the world either have a PayPal account, or sorry, at least in North America, have a PayPal account or a Venmo account. So the inside of it would be slightly different instructions, I think, for gifting, to try to say like, yep, you've got this. This is how you extract it into your PayPal or Venmo wallet and then go shop with it.
Okay. I think that then your story needs to thread end to end. Right. You start with gifting and then you took me somewhere else. So I would like to have like the end to end story, like you just told me, so I can really understand how I will go from this QR code paper to go and spend as the
For sure.
recipient. And the last thing is, this seems pretty similar to TipLink in many ways. So also setting up how you differentiate to TipLink, I think will be important, especially if you're going to be fundraising.
Sounds good. Thanks.
We're off to our last project for this cohort. Just to kind of give you an update while Nick's getting ready here at the build station. We've had a few people sign up past the deadline for this demo day. So to be fair, we're going to have a bit of a closing presentation after stream.gift. Allow our judges to choose to stay if they'd like to, but we're going to do some community feedback for these projects that have signed up last minute after our 10-minute break after the stream.gift presentation.
My name is Nick Murrah. I'm the product manager and creator of StreamGift, and since May 2024, I've been building live streaming crypto solutions and award-winning concepts. Colosseum Radar marks the inception of our product launch and development. Ultimately, a lot of initiative on other chains for live streaming crypto solutions kind of fall off due to the fact that the chains are usually esoteric for consumers, and ultimately Solana is a great home for a consumer product as much like StreamGift. So looking at these numbers, there's very obviously a market. Streaming is huge. The big takeaway here is 400 million was raised in fundraising efforts. So not crowdfunding. Crowdfunding does billions annually, but just 400 million alone raised by Twitch streamers. That's a huge parallel to what crypto and crowdfunding is massive. Also, businesses are becoming more adjacent with cryptos. Kick, a major streaming platform, is the sister company of Stake, the largest crypto gambling company in the world. So there's a lot of direction and correlation, and I think within the next generation, we're going to see most definitely more of it. So some of the major problems with crowdfunding streamers, having said those numbers, we think there's a massive opportunity because existing services use traditional finance, resulting in payment chargebacks, fraudulent donations, poor customer management solutions for streamers. This has been a problem for over a decade. Imagine being a streamer, getting $1,000 donation, only to find out it's fraudulent. Maybe you're even doing it for charity, and it's your PayPal account gets limited. You have a cardholder dispute. You don't really trust getting donations. It's a very discouraging experience, and there's a lot of friction involved. Some experimental products support crypto, but ultimately they fall short because they're more proof of concept. They're not actually market ready and can actually compete with existing services. And ultimately, we think the Solana ecosystem would be the most complementary to our vision. So instead of telling you what we built for Radar, we're going to show you. So imagine we're watching the Stream Gift stream, the best stream in the world, and we want to send in a donation. We're going to click one of the links in the description. Hopefully this loads. Let's go chat. We're going to confirm the tip. We can also send it through a mobile or external wallet, but we're going to connect our Phantom wallet here. And we're going to sign a transaction. I'm going to log in. And there we go. It's been sent. And then hopefully my event listener picks this up in fast time, so we don't have to wait too long.
Let's go chat. Let's go chat.
So there we go. It read the text to speech if you heard it, but there's my name. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my ledger, but we have Solana name service integrated. So if you left the name empty, it would read the Solana name service. And all these parameters are customizable within our dashboard. How much time do we got?
That was exactly time. So 3 minutes is done. We'll move on to feedback from the judges. JP, if you have a minute, give your feedback, and then we'll close out with Vashi.
Yeah, so your target market here is Web2 streamers, right? Which have Web2 viewers. How do you plan to onboard those people into being able to donate using crypto?
So I think the Solana ecosystem plays a big part in this because I think aside from other chains, I think Solana dominates consumer needs. I think other chains kind of focus on how can we provide solutions to businesses, how can we provide solutions for just like end-to-end payments, what cool or novel things can we do with crypto? But I think Solana kind of has a similar correlation with consumer needs, and I think there's a massive onboarding opportunity. There's already been existing live streaming solutions within Solana, like Pump Fund live stream was launched in May. We showed a screenshot for Blur GG. So it 100% makes sense that we would launch within Solana because the consumer ecosystem would be able to empower our vision and actually allow us to get users onboarded onto Solana.
Okay. Will the platforms like Twitch and those guys block you? Can they?
No, I mean, there's been crowdfunding platforms since the dawn of streaming, and it seems like Twitch and Kick also coordinate these things and kind of encourage crowdfunding solutions. I mean, 400 million in fundraising. I mean, that's a great statistic. That's a great thing for a business to have. Like their service is inherently supporting charities and public goods and bringing streamers together to coordinate events for public good. And I think crowdfunding is just as beneficial. We need to support streamers.
Cool. Thanks, JP. And what about you, Vashi? What's your feedback here?
So I don't like you explain why Solana, but I don't think there's any benefit for you to be doing just Solana. Like this has nothing to do on the chain. Your target audience, your target customer here are streamers. If they want to be offering their audiences ways to donate in crypto, you limiting it to Solana, it just doesn't make any sense. So, like that QR code should be letting me pick the chain and the and the currency, and have complete freedom on picking what somebody wants to donate. right? Like you're not building anything on Solana. You're just using Solana as one of the payment options, and it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to be limiting yourself. The way I would solve this is I would, yeah, you want to respond?
I mean, in my experience, we've built on Theta Network and we've also built on Sui. And I mean, the environment in which exists, like the users that actually use it, I think they don't have a correlation to the streaming community. I think the streaming landscape is quite polarizing. Like it's kind of unpredictable how people share ideas. And I think on Solana, I've seen a lot of marketing tactics from Solana-based projects like Pump Fun, and they have outlandish tactics. It's quite edgy. It can be almost considered offensive. And I think an environment like that actually like is comfortable and encouraging of sharing these like kind of not like polarizing ideas. I think that's very important to what we're doing.
I want my time back, Simon. So I think that if your target here is just streamers who are targeting Solana audience, then like there's no way this is going to get anywhere, right? That space is so small compared to what you should be targeting here. You can be promoting on Solana, you can be targeting Solana users to start using it, but like you're limiting yourself for no reason. And it doesn't make like, maybe you can let a streamer select if they want to allow. And then if you think that a user will not donate in Solana just because a streamer is accepting other chains, then let the streamer like select that they are not accepting other chains there, but don't limit yourself for no reason. And putting a link there, you said this is crowdfunding, this is tipping. These platforms do have their own ways of tipping, and they are maybe okay with other crowdfunding platforms, but historically with tipping, they might have a problem because they do have integrated ways that they are taxing, and linking tipping, purely tipping links on them is usually not great. What you should be doing is probably making an extension and make the platform itself change for the users that want to see, like blinks. And then you become big enough to come to Phantom, and Phantom lets you, with the same click that enables me seeing blinks on Twitter, to see your small little module on Twitch, on somewhere else, for every streamer that uses them when I open it, right? That's your path here. Use Solana in a smart way where you leverage the things that are already here for the marketing, to promote it with the users, but don't limit yourself for no reason.
100%. Thank you.
It's great feedback, Vashi. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. That was really fantastic. Solid 3 hours and 20 minutes of presentations from great Canadian projects and some great feedback from Vashi and JP. Do you have anything to say before we talk about what's happening next?
Yeah, please take the feedback, implement it. Don't be discouraged. This feedback is meant to help you to take what you're doing to the next level. I know when I first started pitching, feedback was a bit daunting. It sometimes made me feel like demotivated, but over time I started to realize how important and constructive it was to my journey as an entrepreneur. So just keep digging into the problem, and your solution will change over and over, as we keep saying. But I heard a lot of invaluable feedback, and I'm really excited to see where everyone takes their project next.
Yeah, it's been great. And thank you again to the mentors that have been helping these teams along the way. If you're not already, follow Super Team Canada Twitter and join the Solana Canada Telegram chat. We'll be hosting more of these in real life events around Toronto and other major cities, Vancouver and Montreal. So stay up to date, come out and co-work with people, meet possible team members, meet possible mentors as well, and just build some friendships and some community. Thank you for coming. So on to the next thing. So we've had a few projects that have been signed up a bit late. They still want to get some feedback. So we're going to do a peer feedback session. The judges are not required to stay. We had them locked in till 3 o'clock. So thank you for staying a bit late as it was. We'll do a quick 5-minute, 10-minute break right now. I know it's been a long slog this afternoon. We'll come back. There's a couple more projects. I think 2 or 3 projects in the 4th cohort. Give some presentations. Same style, 3 minutes. We'll keep it the same. and we'll do some peer reviews and some peer feedback just to give the people opportunity to kind of see what you're working on. I think that's it. So announcements. Anybody have anything else to say?
Yes, we'll announce the Canadian track
Right.
winners in due time.
Yep.
Please be patient. We need to give our judges time to go through the submissions.
Yep.
The submission window on Super Team Earn technically isn't closed yet, but it is closing soon, and we do have everybody's information now. So keep an eye out for the announcement. We also need to go through the code and ensure that all the eligibility criteria were met. So stay tuned in the coming days. We'll be announcing that. So definitely follow us, and please hang out for the next cohort. And thank you so much to our amazing judges. Your feedback was amazing, and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. This was super great. So
I'm just gonna mute this. I'll leave the screen on.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for organizing and thank you for inviting us. It was very fun. And everybody who's building, please keep with it. The time for our feedback was quite short. So trying to just focus on the biggest pain points. But congratulations to everybody who's crushing it and feel free to reach out for any additional.
yeah, I second that. I shared my Telegram there too. So anytime, you guys. Thank you. Keep going.
Hello, everybody. We're back. I finally grabbed some coffee. Where's that? There it is. There it is. We got, I think, 3 more projects. I think Vashi offered to stay. There he is. Yeah, Vashi's still in the audience. So we'll do a little more fun style. Obviously, stay to the times. So we'll do the same thing. We'll get right back into it.
Yep, sounds good. So, hey guys, my name's Chris. I'm the co-founder of Titan, which is a DEX aggregator on Solana. So basically what DEX aggregator is that it basically consolidate all of Solana's on-chain liquidity to help find users the best possible route for their trades. For example, if a user wanted to trade SOL to USDC, Titan will go through every single pool on every single DEX and even check intermediary tokens to provide you the best price possible. In addition, Titan will also be a meta aggregator, so Titan will also provide quotes from aggregators like Jupiter and route the user to whichever quote is the best, offers the best price. So from our internal testing, we found that Titan does provide the best price around 81% of the time and obtains an average 1% price improvement. Through our meta aggregation strategy, we would always guarantee the best price and lower search costs for users. In addition, we do have a team of 8 coming from an equity/crypto hedge fund background, specializing in low latency analytics. Everybody's a developer, and we do have some team members that do have experience in building DEXs on Solana from the ground up. So Solana does have the most interesting ecosystem as the DeFi volume and specifically the DEX aggregation volume has exploded due to Solana's low fees, with DEX aggregators actually originating around 81% of the market right now. With Solana DEX aggregators, by which I mean just Jupiter, given its dominant position, they've processed around $230 billion year to date as of July 31st. So the space is ripe for competition to come in and take some market share, in our opinion. Now, we believe we can compete with Jupiter as they currently use pretty outdated pathfinding algorithms that aren't well suited for crypto markets. So these class of algorithms really require chunks of liquidity to be tested in various chunks. So in Jupiter's case, they actually chunk their routes in 10% chunks. So basically they can be off by optimal by up to 5%. These algorithms can also exclude a lot of pools that do provide a lot of price improvement due to a feature called negative cycles. Basically, these are arbitrage opportunities that result in an infinite loop, which does have to be eliminated for these type of algorithms to work. Now, for Titan, we do use a totally different approach as we focus on pure mathematical optimization to get machine level precision on our routing paths, as well as to also include every single pool to truly provide optimal routes. So this process has yielded a lot of price improvements. And from our testing, once again, we found that Titan does achieve around 81% win rate, with an average 1% price improvement. And a lot of these tests were done on target level swap volumes of around $1,000 to $10,000 for top token pairs. So we've built the full swapping interface here as well that allows the user to select their desired trading parameters. The quotes are then populated live from our infrastructure so that users can execute a transaction using the preferred wallet. What we really want to focus on here is a transparent view of what all the aggregators are quoting, and that the user will always get the best price. So the winning quotes highlighted and emphasized And from here, from basic swaps, we do plan to leverage this to upsell to more advanced order types, as well as to try and monetize that $30 billion monthly basic swap market by charging a platform/winning algo fee on just outperformance. Yeah, so I guess
10 seconds.
Yep, that's basically it. So that sums up Titan in a nutshell. So thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you, Chris. Awesome. Yeah, I think we'll start with Vashi, and if anybody else wants to give some high-level feedback, I think this is a pretty interesting project. Also, some of the team here is in Toronto, and they've been coming out to the build station, which is great to see. So yeah, Vashi, go ahead.
You said you want to be charging fees on the performance. Can you just explain like the revenue model?
Yes. Yep. So like if the winning algorithm provides, let's say 100 bips outperformance, then we could start charging a fee on just outperformance. So let's say like 5% on just outperformance. And then that will be split between the winning algo, whichever provider that is, as well as the platform fee. So Titan would take, let's say 2%, the winning algo would take 3% on the outperformance that would be provided. So that's one idea that we've been floating around, just given the possibility of implementing a meta aggregator.
So you're talking about if you can outperform purely Jupyter, right? Then on that difference, you're taking a fee.
Exactly. Or like once we add in other aggregators that will potentially come online in the next couple of years, same thing. So first place, the difference between first and second place, basically.
The problem with Jupyter and competing with them is that Swap is the one thing that they're not taking any fees on, right?
Exactly.
And there were other competitors that appeared that not only were doing a better job and finding cheaper trades, they were so brave that they were showing a Jupyter route in the list of the route that they are suggesting, and it was like third or fourth usually, and they still failed to get any proper adoption. I think for this product, your most important thing is go to market and how you actually get people to swap to you. And this revenue model, I see potential problem because if you actually do manage to compete and start getting market share from Jupyter, somebody can then piggyback off of your success and just remove that fee, because once you get people to be moving, then it's easier to make them move again. So I would try to potentially find different ways to make money, and I would at the start for sure not be taking that fee, because I think if you do a good job, you're going to be inviting more competitors, and moving people from Jupyter is going to be 100 times harder than those new competitors taking them from you, playing on that story. I think that's my main.
Yep, no, I definitely agree. Like our first features that would be charging will probably be on DCA, more despecialized order types that are currently offered. If we can provide a better price on a DCA, then that'll be what we're charging on at first. I am interested in knowing like which other competitors have come out with better prices, because from the ones that we've seen, like Spider Swap, it just seems that they just call Jupyter on the back end anyway. So like would be
They use Jupyter at the beginning, but from what I know, they have already the second version of their own router and not using Jupyter anymore for a few months now. Wondering when it was the last time you looked into them.
Yeah, so I think last time was around 2-3 months ago. So around that time when they were implementing. So probably take.
Would love to hear your thoughts. If you could look into them again and give me your thoughts and comparison, would love to hear that. If you can, stay connected on Telegram, would be amazing. Thanks.
That would be great.
Thank you, Vashi. If anybody has any peer feedback, it's open floor for 1 minute feedback from the peers. If not, I don't see anybody trying to unmute or commenting, then I'll probably move on to the next one there, Chris, if that's okay. We'll wait another few seconds here.
I'm from the Nest Wallet team, but the submission for this hackathon is called Auto Terminal. So Auto Terminal is focused on a pretty niche part of crypto trading, which is copy trading. And if you guys aren't familiar with what copy trading is, essentially instead of like searching for coins that you want to trade, you're kind of looking for wallets, wallets that are profitable, wallets that are good at sniping or good at like trading. And instead of you actively trading, you just copy them. And every time they complete a trade, you do the exact same on your wallet. And every time they sell, you do the exact same thing. So the copy trading community is like a smaller part of the entire crypto community, but it's still pretty active. There's a lot of people, who have YouTube videos, tutorials, communities. There's like tools like this where it helps you check if a wallet is profitable or not. So it is quite an active community. But the problem is the current tools that people are using are mostly limited to Telegram bots. And the issue with Telegram bots is that they're pretty limited in what they can do. The UI, you can see it's like, I think in order to activate it, the most popular ones are Trojan and I think Maestro. There's a lot of like, you have to go into advanced mode, figure out a bunch of settings, and then only then can you like start copy trading, and everything is in this like very limited model. So what we wanted to do is build out a web app that's focused on copy trading, allow people to really easily manage multiple wallets, be able to track their P&L, and essentially have like a platform that's dedicated to like managing and like having a good overview of all their copy trading wallets. So it's live right now on autoterminal.com. I'm going to log in and show you kind of how the platform works. Yep, you can see I have two wallets here. One of them is inactive right now and the other one is active. I can pause, restart any of my wallets whenever I want. Here, this is one of my wallets. Overall, I'm able to see my P&L for the day as well as the overall P&L, and unfortunately, I'm down. So here is the wallet that I'm copying. You can really easily add like more wallets for you to copy based on just the address, and then set custom features like what percentage of their buy I want to copy. If they buy one SOL, maybe I only want to copy 10% of that, for example. Here you can see the list of tokens that I'm currently holding in this wallet, as well as my transaction history. So it's really easy to set it all up. As I showed you, you just have to add a new wallet. We do all the management of the wallets in the back. And I'm going to quickly show you guys like a live demo of a trade. So I have this wallet set up to be copying one of my own wallets. And I'm going to be making a trade real quick just this is Nest Wallet, by the way, in our app. So I'm going to be buying 0.01 SOL of this token, Mudang. And because I have this wallet set up to copy 10%, it should copy.
30 seconds there, Bill.
Yep. So I send in the buy transaction. You can see here it's executing. And once it gets executed, the copy trading platform should be able to copy this pretty much right away. So we're just waiting for this to execute. Cool, it executed. And close this. Right now, you see I have about like 17 of this token. And hopefully if I refresh, it'll have copied it. Oh, cool, it already did. And you can see in the history, I bought 0.01 SOL worth of this token. So yeah, exactly 10%. So yeah, that's the general demo of the wallet. We're continuing to expand on it, build more features, educational tools, analysis tools over time. Yeah, and that's it for the demo.
Cool. Thanks, Bill. Vash, up next. And if anybody has any peer feedback from the audience, just let me know.
So this wallet that gets created from you on the website is a wallet that you have private keys on, and I can withdraw and fund, or how does it work?
Yeah, so these are wallets that you can add, and then every time you create one, you can export the private key. But right now, they are being custodied on our end, just so we can facilitate the transactions.
Okay. And what I'm wondering here is there a way to find out which wallets are a part of your platform or not currently? Like, can somebody else know that this is a wallet from your platform?
No, not at the moment.
Copy trading is something that I know about, but I didn't really ever use it or did deeply. It seems to me like a thing that if it becomes popular and more people use it, then it becomes a problem and not really effective, right? Like if I see somebody being like copying my wallet, and every sell that I'm doing, I'm practically have like free MEV just by doing whatever I want to do, right? Like buying and selling somebody, or buying after me, selling after me.
Yep.
How big of a problem is that, and what is currently the biggest competitor in the copy trading space that people are using? Doesn't matter if it's a website, a Telegram, or whatever, and how much fees are they collecting currently?
So I actually got this idea while I was on a plane, and the person sitting beside me was in crypto, and he was chatting to me about how he runs like a copy trading firm. And I'll kind of answer your questions in order. The number one competitor right now is Trojan. And like, I don't know exactly how much they generate from the copy trading side of things, but they do charge 1% per transaction. And according to his own personal experience, he thinks there's a community maybe the size of like 8 to 10,000 people that do copy trading. And the difference between them and like an average retail person is that they trade a lot more, right? And they're often managing like 15, 20 different wallets at the same time that are constantly trading. So I think it's not like a huge market, but it's quite sizable given the fee structure. Second is like, do people mind that they're being copied? It's half and half. Some people actually like being copied because that means their tokens are getting pumped by these bots that are copying them. Other people, they want to be a little bit more like security focused or like privacy focused, and they don't like it. So it's like 50-50, I would say.
Yeah, I didn't think like if somebody likes it or not. I'm thinking like if this becomes big enough,
yes,
I think there's somebody counter trading you pretty much that can play like a big role into this. So I was just wondering how it works. The one thing that I will say it's interesting for me, and the one like feedback that I have, when meme coin started becoming bigger on Solana, a lot of people were saying how this moved to Telegram on Ethereum before, and that's the UX people like. That's something that people love more, and that is going to happen on Solana. And I didn't really believe them at the time, and it showed in the end that they were actually right. And it seems like people are enjoying that experience, having it on the phone, blah blah blah. And now your argument was it's only on Telegram. Let's move it back, right? I think you having an option of Telegram also would not be a bad thing. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, so the reason we decided to move away is we kind of saw Photon, right? Photon essentially took what was being done on Telegram and then turned it into a better web app, right? Because especially for something that's copy trading, a lot of times you just want to be able to overview like all your wallets, right? See all the P&L, but that's currently not possible in Telegram. Like you can only set up one or maybe two wallets per account. So the person I was actually talking to, he set up 20 different phone numbers so he could have 20 different accounts of Telegram. And every time he's trying to manage different accounts, he has to switch between his phone numbers and everything. So that's the reason we kind of thought that if we built out like a web platform that's able to do this, then people who are more like dedicated, they're sitting at home, they're just managing all their wallets, they would prefer like a web platform potentially. So that was the hypothesis.
I'll stop because I know I went over my time, but would like a few more questions and stay in touch because I do think there's a combination there that gives you both. I think Bongbot now has a way where you can be switching which bot you're using there, and having somebody from the same Telegram account be picking wallets from a bot should not be a problem, and giving him a link where they can then open and see their whole dashboard in a browser. Like there's, I think, the best of both worlds that you can do to still not lose that audience that's used to that experience, but also let me do it from the side.
Oh, I like that feedback. Yeah, I think if we could have a dual view or like a membership management program where you have sub team members or something, and they have different access controls on the on the desktop, but then they also have a Telegram view as well. That could be very cool.
Yep. Yeah, Vosh, nobody else put their hand up to do feedback, so I gave you the full 4 minutes there. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Vashi. And I think you two should probably connect in DMs. It sounds like there's something going on. I think we have one or two projects left for this peer feedback session. Victor with Money Talks.
So the main problem I was trying to solve was like, is that we live in this like hyperactive hive mind state where we're just constantly receiving messages from people. And it wasn't actually always like this. The main like reason that we live in this state right now is because of the internet. Because of the internet, the cost of communication has like went down to zero, meaning that anyone can reach you at any time. And as good as that sounds, it actually causes a lot of problems. So I wanted to like try an experiment to see if I built what would happen if I built a messaging app where you have to like pay in a bid for people's attention. So it's called Money Talks, and it's a market-based messaging app. Um, so pretty much the only difference is that like you actually have to bid whenever you want to like message someone, and you can talk to anyone on this platform. So whenever someone signs up, like they'll appear on this contact list, but it's just me and like the Twitter account I made, so it's only two people. And then it's sorted by like the average cost of like the message that people send to the account and like the last message, so you kind of can get like a sense of worth of what someone's time cost. Um, so yeah, I'll log in. You log in with your Twitter, and then it just like uses like the same Twitter profile pic and name. So it's like Twitter DMs, but like you pay for it pretty much, kind of. It's loading. Cool. So yeah, once you log in, you can just like start messaging people, like hi, and then like you can change like the amount of like money you want to pay to send this message. And like what I think it will do is it like it promotes like it promotes your message like the more like money you spend on it. So it's like you're actually valuing the person's time to like take the time to read your message. And I think like although like it's like a small change, it actually has like large effects because users are actually like incentivized to use the app because people are paying you for your attention, and um people who want to like get through and cut through like all the noise of like other people competing for like attention can do it with their money, with their wallet. So um yeah, and it's supposed to like it like I'm using Privy, and so like each user has a Solana wallet in the back end, but like I was running into issues like trying to like sign messages or like send transactions, so like it's not actually fully complete yet, but like it's just like the concept. So yeah.
Perfect. 3 minutes exactly. Thank you, Victor. Bashi, what's your feedback?
I like this idea. This is what was the name? Remind me, Simon. They did this for the like for email, and Tolly even uses it, and several teams used it to reach out to him and get him to do things. You can
That
like
was
pay
like Soul Chat or something?
possibly, right? Like this is the same idea, but but with a message. But I have a few things here that I want to kind of discuss. I think to get somebody to read your thing is usually very much a one-sided kind of thing, right? Like the transaction usually goes only in one way. And with the chat where it's like we are talking to each other, then you pay to reach me, and then I'm getting asked how much I want to pay to send you a message back, right? Like I think you need to be thinking about some of these things, and basically, are you the one wanting to be paying for messages or just want others to be paying for messages? And how do you set it up? If you want people to really move to this as a chatting app, then I guess you need to make it very seamless to be changing that, like for me to select special chats where I'm ready to tip for a message, but by default it's not there. And like if this is a feature that Telegram integrates right now, that I can select that any new message that from somebody who never talked to me needs to be paid, or any message that any conversation that I didn't talk to into last 2-3 months, I would be very interesting to using it. But I think like a lot of polishing here needs to be done. It needs to be very seamless, and the wallet integration is going to be probably a bit of a hard thing to solve here. But yeah, I like the idea. Clearly, it's like very early. A similar idea did do well and attracted a lot of eyes on Solana. So polish it a bit more, and I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in using it.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Bashi. Eric, if you're still in the audience.
Oh, just one last comment there. Sorry, Simon.
Sure.
Make it per character, please. I if I see that the message is coming and like I can get paid that much to read it, if it's like 2 sentences or if it's an essay, it should not be the same. Pay per character. That's it. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Pay per character, some sort of like multiplication factor based on length.
Yeah.
Eric, if you're up next, I think you're our last one, also ready to present.
All right, gentlemen and ladies, can you all see this?
Yep, good to go. I'll start the timer.
Let's do it. All right. Hey guys, I'm going to talk to you about Pi Finance, which is a liquid stake bond and yield exchange. So the problem and opportunity is the staking market cap is $500 billion. That's 25% of the entire crypto space. And it's growing. The average network APY is 8.1%, with $40 billion being emitted between now and 1 year from date. This doesn't account for new types of yield that are going to come online. So LSTs, LRTs, AVSs, DPIN, DeFi, et cetera, et cetera. So my question is, how do we access this future yield today? We have devised a new DeFi primitive that is going to be launched on Solana called Liquid Stake Bonds, or LSBs. How this works is users show up with their SOL. We're starting with SOL. Obviously, other assets will follow. They'll choose fixed term bonds with fixed expirations. They deposit SOL into some smart contract vaults. So Jito, Marinade, or any of the Sanctum vaults. Once the deposit is made and the time is chosen, we give them two sets of tokens, one PT, YT, probably heard similar concepts before. We give these as NFTs, and then these are tradable entirely on chain from the deposit date up until maturity date. Whoever has these can redeem them then. This stack doesn't just apply for Solana. We can do this for any type of vault, so any type of like vanilla Solana that's deposited. So it's Jupiter Sol, Bybit Sol, et cetera, et cetera. LSTs, the AVSs when they launch. We've already looked at how to build this for DPIN and even bridged assets because we built a POC on Ethereum originally. Let's keep going. Who is on the buy side and the sell side of this equation? Well, anybody who wants to get cash today, free up cash flow today, would probably be on the sell side. So if you wanted to sell your future yield without selling your current position, this is how bond yield trades in TradFi, anywhere from 3% to around 30%, depending on the asset. And if you're on the buy side, this is also pretty good because you're buying this yield at a discount if you're looking to accumulate long positions. This is way better than actually staking. So if you were to stake $3,000 worth of SOL, this is where you'd be after a 1 year period, because buying discounted yield will allow your dollar to go much further than it will actually staking and holding because of the discount. So it's your dollar cost averaging from a cash flow perspective. How do we make money? We take 0.15%. We take 15 bips on the trades and 15 bips on the total deposits and withdrawals. So we take of the gross withdrawal amount. So at withdrawal, we take 15 basis points. How do we see ourselves in the space? Well, there's staking, like traditional staking, and I see like something like a Marinade Finance is in between staking and DeFi. I see what Pendle has done. Pendle is really in between DeFi and bonds. Ondo has proven there's a bond market. What we're going after is staking bonds, which we feel like is the next thing that's going to come in the space that's kind of missing. We've been told, look at Pendle. I'm very familiar with Pendle. Pendle is fantastic, but we've built something functionally different where we are Solana native. Our product trades more as escrow, where Pendle trades as a custom AMM. We're focused on yield generating assets, so more of DePIN and proof of stake, whereas Pendle is focused on DeFi and LRT yield. And we have fixed expirations. They have random expirations, which are chosen by the protocols. This is
30 seconds.
Yeah, this is the team. One of the co-founders of Badger DAO. I was one of the early members of Covalent. Seasoned Solana team as well. This is the roadmap, what we're going for. Here are some testimonials, and then we won't get into this, but this is the UX, which just articulates the difference of the protocol, how it works, and how you could even go create Solana bonds if you wanted to like trade in Jito, buy, sell, et cetera, et cetera. The UX is much better than the actual prototype itself, which did get coded. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Happy to talk more about any of this stuff, go into the details of the buy, the sell, the portfolio, the trade, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Let's jump in with Vashi. And anybody if has any questions in the audience, feel free to put up your hand.
This is very cool. I have to admit, I'm not super familiar with the competitors and that space. My question was, why would you do NFTs for the positions compared to be doing tokens and possibly then be able to sell part of your position instead of the whole one? Just trying to understand.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent question. So the way we built the V1 on Ethereum was, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Solidity, but ERC for 1155s. So these are semi-fungible. So the equivalent on Solana is a semi-fungible token. The reason why we're doing this is because when you want to sell your future yields, let's say you stake 100 SOL, that means your APY in 1 year is 7 SOL. you would want to sell this as one bundled NFT. So this would be like one collection. So that 7 SOL that will accrue in 1 year's time would be like a bundled NFT. So you could sell those as fractions. So it's like an NFT. Each one is like an NFT collection with individual NFTs inside. The equivalent on Solana is SPL 404, but on Ethereum it's ERC 1155s. So it's not, they're not true NFTs. It's like a tokenized representation of the yield.
It's 404 is completely different. 404 means that there is a swap that changes state from tokens to NFT. I think this is like a simple Solana token that just has a probably a 0 decimals, and there's some amount of them that you can, right? Like the semi-fungible tokens on Solana are pretty much just normal Solana token. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But okay, thank you for the explanation.
Yeah, that's
Makes
what
sense.
I'm from the I started like I've spent a large chunk of my career in Ethereum. So getting ramped up has taken a bit of work. So I mean, we built something already. So it's like I'm sort of realizing 404 isn't exactly, it's just the closest representation I can think of as a standard. But yes, I agree with you.
Okay, we have one question from an audience member here live at the Build Station in Toronto.
Timmy.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's up? Eric, was it?
Yep.
It's Gail, and I did the Helios presentation earlier. First of all, I love DeFi. I think it's really cool seeing people push the limits and experiment like this. So really excited about seeing where this goes. Just a nerdy, fun, like economic question. Can you kind of restake your future yields infinitely? Like, do you see people like really leveraging this to like the decimal point?
That's a great question. It's so funny you say that, because like that was one of the first things that we said, because like we're building this for ourselves. We're the traders in this case, and so it just turns out there's a lot more people than just us who want this. But yeah, the way we're building this is like, let me show you some of the UX. We're looking to settle everything in USDC, right? So if you're forward selling your yield, this is the price of Solana. This is what you're selling it for. You settle in USDC. I guess you could take that USDC, rebuy it back, and just keep doing that over and over and over, right? I haven't figured out a way to loop it, because the problem that one condition is these are semi-fungible. So I don't know where else we would need to get support from other platforms to trade these outside of our ecosystem. So it's a TBD. I've talked to some lending markets who said they would take these, mainly the principal tokens, but maybe not the yield tokens. So in theory, you could probably collateralize your principal tokens or your principal deposits, but maybe not collateralize the future yield. Like, I don't know what the LTV would be there.
Crazy. Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Cool. Thanks, Eric. I think that was the last project. Congratulations, everybody. We finished it off. Oh yeah, there it goes, the timer. Great. Thank you. I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me late in the party. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks for all the feedback. Vashi, again, thank you for being an excellent judge. And thank you to the other judge, JP, as well as the mentors. And yeah, if you're in Toronto, come out to the Build Station this evening. We're still here. We'll probably be vibing for a few more hours and kind of relaxing. And then stay tuned for more Build Stations and co-working and networking events in Montreal and Vancouver, and potentially Ottawa and Halifax and Calgary. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're talking to the blockchain this place out in Dalhousie. Yeah, yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, ping myself or Fibonacci with any questions. Join the Solana Canada Telegram group. Share it with your friends who are interested in joining Solana or building in the next hackathon. There's going to be even more resources available to you at the next one. Let us know how we did. Let us know how we can improve. And yeah, here's Fib to close us out.
Thank you, everyone. Great presentations. Excited to see how they turn out in the next few days.
Yep. We'll let you know. Thank you, everybody.